can't come to the casita right now, so please you have to at the ding dong.
Is that what Pat's saying?
Hmm?
Is that Pat?
Maybe.
I like to think that his voicemail is in Spanish.
Hiding from. He's hiding in multiple
Ooh, that
languages.
jingle would be more memorable if his rhyme if it actually
Okay.
rhymed and his name actually ended in a K.
Well, I added him like 15 minutes before. I didn't get any blips, so maybe he's maybe drunk really hard.
He hasn't reached the hangover yet. He's
He's still in it. He's
still
partying
drunk,
still.
and then the hangover will start tonight.
Why did server at me in the food channel? What the hell is this? That man loves Twitter.
I don't know what he's gonna do when Elon just shuts the whole thing down, because that's the only logical explanation I can think of for when I see an article that says, "Oh yeah, Elon Musk fires every janitor at Twitter headquarters, tells employees they have to bring their own toilet paper if they want to go to the bathroom at work."
Get a Roomba.
Like, I read that and my two reactions are, this is like an Onion article. This can't be real. Or two,
it is real.
Okay, that's actually a little depressing. Like, I'm no.
Remember the janitor.
There will be no there will be no love and tears shed for Twitter if it goes away. But that's just depressing.
First the janitors, now us.
I would argue inhumane, but you know what?
Alright, let's get your dices out. Die is the plural, not dices. We're back from our 2-week break. Very 2032 or something. That's right?
Woo!
Close enough.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's go ahead and try to get everyone back into the swing of things. First of all, we are on the date of May the 5th. We missed the day where you can say that Star Wars thing. That's on purpose.
We were in character.
Yep, that's on purpose, because I absolutely hate when people say that, because it's not funny.
I'm checking ahead. Let me see something.
As I reorganize my dice, I am gonna be saying that we are on 55739. The League is preparing last-minute preparations before they teleport to Sanctus. It's going to be a long jump in terms of time difference. If anyone was curious about time zone differences, the difference is about 7 to 8 hours. And I was contemplating this while doing some lore building and speaking with some of the player characters here. The map that we use for the world map is not an appropriate scale, just saying that going forward, because if you took the map that we use and wrapped it around, or put it onto that framing device for the planet Earth, the segments wouldn't line up in such a way that it makes geographical sense. Sanctus, in theory, should be closest to the equator, which is why it was basically the hottest continent. And Rutash is basically on the same lateral longitude, latitude, coordinate point. So it's the polar opposite weather and climate-wise. So the fact that they're on the same latitude but different weathers is kind of weird.
What's the angle of the axis that it rotates on? Isn't that a factor?
It does, but I'm just going off of real-world earthly things just to make it easier on myself when it comes to literal building of the world, in the sense of getting things, the poles, appropriate and whatnot. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit finagled when I try to actually move these things around. If I want Sanctus to be at the equator line, the Volatile Isles will remain slightly above the equator because it's supposed to be moderately tropical/temperate, and might need to move the Eye of Zosha a little bit further south from where it is right now. Dominus can stay more or less where it's supposed to be because it gets more canyon-like the further south you go down, so that one's actually entirely appropriate. And Gromnil will have a new snow biome in the future.
You're overthinking it.
I am contemplating things going forward, just in case you guys decide, DM, I'd like to go to this continent and find the cartographer who made the world map and question him thoroughly by wringing his neck.
You have two characters from
That's
Dominus.
not
got
what
so-
you did. Did we do that last campaign? We did.
Adam, I got you. All right. Here's what you do. The guy who made that map was not a cartographer. He was an artist. This is like one of those 15th century maps that has like the world nipple.
I was waiting for him to say brain damage, honestly. I'm not gonna lie.
You can't just throw
Me
brain damage and
too.
everything.
Brain damage works for a lot of things, but this one is like a real world historical example. Like some of the maps we have from like even a couple hundred years ago list like leviathans and like
That's because they were really there, but when they realized people
Oh,
were
yeah.
drawing them, they just disappeared.
They said they got very vain and said, "Ugh, I don't have
I
that. My
don't-
tentacles don't look like
I
that."
don't consent to being depicted in this way. My
Okay,
ass is
so-
not that big, says the sea serpent.
For reference, in 1864, people still believed Lemuria existed.
I believe it.
That it just sunk in the Indian Ocean.
Nice Wikipedia article. I'm gonna not take any of this into account.
Well, my point is, like, people believe fucking stupid things, and artists, like, will just make maps where it's like, oh yeah, you know, we had this missing continent. Again, 1864.
In either way, going forward, it still goes to show that the current coordinate proximities of the locale map on the world map that we use is not a good point of reference. That being said, also, the main reason I bring that up is because if you take that map and just fold it around, Sanctus and Rutash would be like neighbors.
Yeah, it'd be really cold in Sanctus.
And like you
I
could
guess you would
realize-
have to put it in like an angle then, like, right? You can't just put it like
I would need to,
horizontal, you put,
I
like,
think,
like
stretch
an
it out
angle.
more widthwise and then tilt it, kind of like you're taking a painting and like shifting it this way.
yeah. You would have to do something like that.
But either way, it still does its purpose for the most part, and I can give a rough approximation on how long it takes and travel-wise to get from one place to another, usually in a span of X number of months. The longest span would probably be going from Dominus to where you guys are right now in Rutash, would be the longest journey, especially if you didn't, if you just took little breaks in between to stop by the Volatility, because it's a good pit stop. Because if you just go straight sea journey from there and there, I think you'll probably die from no food. But DM, we can create food. Shut the fuck up. Anyways. Back into our campaign. You guys are going to be teleporting anyways, so that doesn't really matter at the moment. So you guys are going to be going to Sanctus to do two things. One of which is to make sure that Dauntless / Princess Hualong is reported in on for the sake of the Laszlo's Pearl Divers Company. She's been away, more or less MIA, for approximately a year and a half and some change at this point. And they are expecting medical reports and handwritten letters by the princess herself in order to make sure that this business deal that uses the princess as a living bargaining token / lifeline to the Morjamoth family, to whom the Laszlo's Pearl Divers has exclusively, essentially, a pearl-related monopoly over in Sanctus. Pearls, of course, are more than just jewelry. They can be used for a variety of magical components. If you beam someone's head really, really hard with a slingshot, that can hurt too. And in either case, the princess's well-being is going to be the first thing reported on, assumedly. And the next thing is the assassins that are trying to kill Siegeworth / Laszlo / Ivan. If you want to throw in a fourth nickname, I would advise against it.
What a funny joke, Adam.
Well, in either way, if it does come to that, I'm gonna have everyone have a little excuse token if they accidentally slip up and say the wrong name this session, because frankly, I wouldn't blame you. considering I think Dan is probably recoiling from some sort of British party. Why is it?
I'm just ill.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like hungover or something. All right. Well, in that case, we're gonna be looking at these assassins who are trying to kill Siegeworth. Their origins taken care of. Maybe cut the flow off at the spigot, so to speak, and make sure that this doesn't have to be a thing that you have to look over your shoulder constantly for. You've been given permission by the betrothed to Princess Swalong to utilize its magical teleportation circle when you guys intend to come back to Rutash. You do know that he gets a notification whenever someone utilizes his, well, specifically for Siegeworth, because of this blood contract that they have, essentially needs to go through a system of checks and balances and says, yes, this person is allowed to teleport here in the same way that like a guard at a front door is, or a bouncer. In any case, once you guys teleport, you'll be alerting the leader of the Laszlo's Pearl Divers as to your presence, and you might need to wait around inside of the vault for just a couple moments, because you might not be at home. You might need to run in from the office. But in either case, if you really want to, you can burn, what, like 7 knock spells in a row, and then get that done.
You also got to figure how many of this are there, because technically he could have. How many people can you take with you when you use Dimension Door?
Dimension Door is probably only one person.
One other person.
Probably have to use a few of those too, so it's like it wouldn't be quite.
You'd have to
User
go out
joined your
in,
channel.
out in. Like,
It would be really inefficient.
yeah.
In either case, once you guys intend to teleport back to Rutash, you can just TP back in. Let's see. There are ideas on how to get to these assassins, potentially. Not many of them are very good for short-term investments. One of them was trying to establish yourself as a businessman who deals in the underground, essentially, to get the invitation to the black market. Whether or not it's called black market here, that's up to you guys to judge for yourselves. You never got an actual name, even if they do have a name, so that, because branding for a black market seems kind of a counterintuitive idea. But how you get to these assassins is going to be up to you once you touch down in Sanctus. You're also aware of the fact that you won't need to be wearing your winter's clothing. In fact, if you do wear it as soon as you touch down, you'll probably get a heat stroke, so take in mind you might want to dress the part when you get there. Doesn't necessarily
onesie only.
It could just mean stripping down until you're only in your regular clothes. If there's any fur lining in your armor, you could, well, those are harder to strip away than you might think.
Ben's literally just wearing the back cloak that gives him his AC boost.
Yes.
Clothes are for the weak.
Hey, I get an armored bonus. I don't need clothing.
I don't need pants, bitch.
And it gets everywhere, though, guys. Remember.
And let's see. There's going to be a couple of hurdles that you guys have to go through, considering the fact that the princess is not who they think that she is, and there are cultural differences, of which are going to be fun to play out. Might as well have my document open for that, because that's going to be fun. And for the most part, you guys have completed everything you need to. There's a couple of projects that Kalos is currently working on for magical item enchantment, but they take days at a time, and that is probably not a luxury that you guys want to squander. Also, take in mind, your money's no good. As soon as you get there, they have the currency paper that is called Samir. If you're curious about the exchange rate, it's 10 Samir is equal to 3 gold. And you guys are getting ready to teleport. So let me know if there's anything else you want to do while you guys are here in Rutash.
Really, anything we need to do?
I need to get some papers sorted from Dolin, possibly. So there's this alias that I want to have as a different wizard.
We'll call
Just
you
to not-
L.
You can name me what you want. If you all collectively come up with a name, you can call me something, whatever's easiest. But I had like Ulrich as just a name, something easy. But essentially, this is going to be a wizard with an alibi, and I just need some actual papers, like falsified by the boss man, to add a little air of authenticity to this when I arrive, because I will be the one that's casting it and bringing us there, and they're probably going to question me how the fuck do I know the.
Ari's just gonna run the moment we get.
I mind you, and as you say that, I hand out these bands. I give one to Varys, I give one to myself, and one to Zen. You can take care of yourself, I hope, Laszlo. Just in case if we need to run. These are all when you put them on, press the little button on top. It will make you guys invisible. Varys, you will need to think for Dauntless, and Zen, you will be by yourself.
Wait, need to think for me?
Yes, I need to cast it at a higher level, and I think the one that can take the most, can concentrate more, would be Varys. Do me.
So basically, I have to. Does it take a spell?
You will cast invisibility on you and someone else. I'm assuming you're going to be casting it on yourself and Dauntless. Zen will be casting it on the device. Will be casting it on himself, and I will be casting it for me and Krios. And then
If it goes bad,
Ulrich, you will be casting it for.
let's name it something
yourself.
else, guys. Let's just workshop a name for my guy here. Somewhere it's easy. Maybe just a single letter. Something.
L.
No, oh no. L is way too on the nose.
S.
That's even more on the nose.
Wait, why is
W.
S?
That's like my original name.
SW. It's a horrible nickname. It's too long to actually be one, but you know what? It just fits.
I mean, we could call you L, like ELL.
I'm gonna level with you. I already wrote Ulrich down. And
I will. Yes, stick with.
I'll
You
call
are-
you
yeah.
you.
Yeah, just don't call me.
I will try to not call you by your name. If I need to, you will be Ulrich.
Yep. Okay. So I need to just update the. Adam said like hot clues will kill the guy, so I don't want to arrive with hot clues.
I look at Laszlo.
What?
I feel like I'm gonna have trouble not calling you Laszlo.
Don't speak to me.
I'm honestly thinking that. I was thinking because maybe Varys.
You act
you're
really
The
gonna be
ironic
the
thing is,
translator.
if this all gets sorted out, we'll never have to call him that again.
Yeah,
True.
'cause, you know,
Well,
one
I'm
last
thinking
time.
maybe Varys, since you're my translator, I should just talk through you 90% of the time. Well,
Who am I translating?
That's
If he
when
needs
we
to
meet.
speak Draconic.
That's when we
Remember?
meet your family, though. We're not going.
What's
to...
keeping you from talking to us, though? Whatever.
no,
Whatever.
that's true. I'm
Just don't speak to
Most
Ulrich directly.
Most
You'll be fine.
people, I can't imagine they don't speak Common as well in Sanctus.
Um,
I'm overcomplicating. Never mind. I'll
Yeah,
just
don't call me a
Stop
stuff.
thinking.
don't worry about it, Laszlo. I'll
Adam,
give you a
this
thumbs
is
up.
like my the alter self like image that I want to represent. Just sending in the D&D chat. So there'll be like the antithesis of Laszlo, essentially, like fat bearded, like hair going. I've got like an alibi now as well.
You're gonna run into a guard. Hey, you look like the exact opposite of this guy we want to arrest.
Yeah, that's kind of sus, my guy. You're gonna die, but just to visually look different. I'll speak like I speak now, like really. I just need this.
Really
like,
British.
What if we just pretend you're mute?
All right, now we're overcomplicating things. Just
it's
keep it as Ulrich.
Yeah.
And does teleportation circle have a verbal component?
He's really good with his
Uh,
hands, and
Fucking god.
Sign
This is
language.
why
He
we sometimes
collapsed
we
right in front
can't
of
get
his
things
mouth.
done.
And,
Yeah, it's verbal and material, so just don't worry about it. It's fine. So yeah, I've got like so I'm from Samsara in the employ of Therno, so that's why I need these papers. At his and the princess's request, I was tasked with reciting a previous employee's note work to secure expedited passage to Sanctus. And then there's other stuff within the alibi as well. But I just need some official documentation prepped. So if they do question it, I can be like, hello, look, it's signed by him. I don't know if
That
that'd
must
be
be
okay to do.
unfortunate to be born with magical inclination, but to be born mute.
Yeah, that kind of suck. Is that something that we can get done?
What?
That's his reaction, exactly.
If we could do something like that, that'd be real neat. If not, then we'll just have to wing it.
No, I think that's a good idea. We should probably just.
But yeah, it's at your request because you suffered great injury and.
The complications of getting a fake employee ID essentially is not something that they want to do because they'll just have it in the records. Like, who the fuck is this? If anyone
Just
forgets.
get a note from Dolan.
Well,
Like a
if you're
signature.
disguised, why don't we just get your employee ID?
Says Laszlo.
Well, that's my point.
That was my no. I'm trying to get
but
a
they
fake
they
ID for this guy,
hmm.
or just get a like a confirmation from Dolan that it's maybe I've been hired to like a freelancer or something. I don't know.
Part of the new guard, if you could say.
That
I
one
don't
is
think he
more like
wants.
I mean,
no.
yeah, the guards. Considering all the guards died.
I don't think he
Again.
wants that to be.
No, I just maybe just like I got some authority that has signed this to be like, look. I mean, your authority as well, Dauntless. So it's like
Hmm.
it's just a matter of having someone to vouch for me if something does go like, well, I don't trust the validity of this. It's like, see these two names here.
Princess.
That was my
Princess,
idea.
show them your back really quick.
Look, read this thing here. Yeah, if they, is that able to get a signature just saying like one one wizard hired for da, 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 on behalf of the services of this guy.
it's a quickly scrawled note that is basically equivalent to the person holding this paper is in the employment but not an actual employee of Laszlo's Pearl Divers for the purpose of transporting the wife of Darno Dolan
Freelance.
underscored Princess Hualong.
Hashtag best princess ever.
That's good. That's good enough for me. Okay.
What's in the
Is
bowl?
there any last
The
minute?
bowl
Gruel.
on your. Oh, that's gruel in that bowl.
That's
And...
Has to be.
gruel.
Okay.
Bringing the gruel with you.
It's a pile of sand.
What's the difference?
It's crack.
Hmm.
Now,
Uh,
before we do leave over, is there any culture that we shouldn't do? Should I not piss on the ground as soon as I get there? Obviously, that's not a thing, but
What if it is a thing?
what if it is a thing? What if I'm expected to come in and piss on the ground of their mansion and I don't? And I get stabbed.
I think the
Why aren't you urinating on our carpet?
the
Do you not
easiest thing-
respect the lord of this house?
Exactly. You know? I don't want to
Uh,
disrespect.
Just don't speak, and then unless
gotcha.
spoken to, and then like don't look people in the eye. If you do that, you should be fine. I don't want to get into
so-
specifics.
Wait,
should
say
I
that
not
last
look
part
people
one
in
more
the eye?
time.
Don't look people in the eye, like superiors in the eye, people of authority, and just don't speak if you don't have to. Speak if spoken to, I suppose.
An employee, got it. Okay.
Just be like, I'm a nobody. Just don't make eye
Man,
contact with some.
It feels like I'm back in the university again. Good old times.
Wait, does that apply to me too? Do I need to?
Maybe the superiors in your group.
Okay.
to observe how they do stuff, and then you might pick stuff up. But don't do it mockingly, I guess.
And is there a different form of handshake? Is there?
No.
Because
Talking.
Just,
Um,
just don't do anything.
I mean, to be fair, we are new, so we aren't expected to know all this stuff. We just
I
got to
would
know
just like
That's
hands
I think that's
inside,
specific. Yeah, just don't.
okay, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready.
Okay. Last minute calls, go to the bathroom now, or else you're gonna have to go in the sand.
Wait, let me go get a nice coffee before we go.
Okay, I'll give you fucking 30 minutes, because apparently that's how long it takes to make fucking iced coffee.
Yeah, call them out.
But you gotta let it like brew.
Well, coffee is
30 minutes.
poison anyways, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
You let the
Coffee is a gateway drug, sir. People become addicted to the caffeination, and
It enables you to play 50 games in
Oh
4
man,
minutes.
dude, I'm Hispanic. I've been drinking that shit. I was a kid.
I'd rather
Sure.
just do cocaine. Actually, I'm joking, because I don't know if the new policies on YouTube are okay with joking
You
about
said
that.
Coca-Cola, guys, okay? Like, you misheard.
They probably put fentanyl and cocaine now. And
Oh my god.
Oh, I
This
should
one goes
laugh.
to 11.
Oh god, I should laugh. Yeah, I'm ready. Whenever.
Alright, so you guys are getting ready to set up the teleportation circle. Laszlo performs by dancing and swinging his rapier around in such a way that it almost risks lopping your ear off, but is a graceful dance that eventually emanates and causes the swirling mass of burning incense around your vicinity to whip and twirl until eventually makes a airborne little world tornado thingamajig. And you guys are sucked away into the magical realms.
As I'm dancing around, I'm just gonna say, as soon as I get there, cover me, because I need to know it myself. Be very quick, but I need a little bit of cover.
Sure, get behind me.
Alright. Cool, yeah.
Let me see about my boards. I have too many things here. I should delete them eventually.
That's
I'm
okay, take your time.
I should get an Egyptian theme going on. Shit.
What's
That's
that
it.
theme from that McDonald's JoJo's? Pyramid Man. Yes.
oh, but that's South America.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that is.
Preview, Adam. CPU melting.
No, but Pat's is gonna get a chance to go through its paces.
Oh, you got
Yeah,
it
My
set up.
computer.
Nice.
Open my overlay and see what my.
Oh fuck,
Finally
my
play
computer's about to
76.
crash. Uh-oh.
Let's test it.
Adam, what have
1060,
you
I
done?
believe in you.
Adam's found something on the fucking tail.
Oh, mine's taking off.
Yeah, it's like waiting on DM. You know
Still
that
waiting on
episode
DM.
of Seinfeld when that sign is across the street and the room's red? Because what the hell's going on in there? Like,
I have to
chicken
figure out.
store.
I have to reorganize this desk because there's a big freaking useless plasma screen right behind my computer. that I
Alright,
think-
brace yourselves.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa.
As default,
Okay.
the CPU utilization
27,
almost to
30.
50%.
Adam is so fucking
wait,
great.
hold on. Yeah,
Pat's doing those fucking NASA countdowns in the fucking control room where it's like, thrusters at 50%.
I
Fucking- I think we're
Oh
covered
boy, I can't move.
here. Montage.
oh, I can move though.
30 FPS. Okay.
More power.
I don't know why my FPS is
Oh
NA.
my god, my PC's going crazy.
Oh, because I'm not in
Adam,
full
what the
screen.
fuck?
That's why I'm in windowed.
Woo! My
I got
computer's
22 frames here.
I'm getting like 30. I just lowered. I preemptively lowered my settings a while ago.
I need to do that. I need to do that.
Mm-hmm. Let me do that too.
Where's it at?
No, I got 60 frames about.
I got 40 right now.
Well, let me spawn your minis in.
That's also because I have VSync on in this game.
Oh, what is
Like a
screen
60.
space ambient occlusion? Can I turn that
No,
off?
I'm actually doing pretty good in this Adam.
Ambient occlusion, you probably don't need that. Let me turn that off.
Well, I like. There's a lot of things we don't need because if we're just moving the models around, it's like.
Hellspire only has, at least on my computer, it only lets me have 60 FPS, so it's like.
Now mine
I
shows
can't-
120.
So I think there should be an unlimited option.
Yeah, there's a cap that you can.
Well, I was
cap.
actually like lowering it, if anything, like to like 30, but I guess that's not an option. I can lower the resolution if I want, but
Even a pyramid.
resolution's not the issue. It's the.
This is cool.
I just turned everything off. It's fine.
I can't
Like,
see.
Close
for
the
like,
game.
well, no, when we're in combat, we're just moving around the minis. It's I don't need like a hyper detailed model to enjoy it. So I just turn everything off and it's fine.
Well, I'm gonna spawn some people in.
Hell
You're
yeah.
not necessarily in the spot you are. The ones
I don't even
here-
know where my minis are.
Probably
Not in
left
yet.
when they're in.
Yep.
Maybe 2 years before.
Do I want to turn off the shadows? Do I want to?
Like I said, just turn everything off. It's fine.
Turn off the
Have it
hard
aiming out to
shadows.
where there's like not much, and it's like I'm getting 40. And maybe out towards the pyramid. as well.
Like quarter res, no shadows, low, everything off. It's fine.
Like Minecraft.
Are you running it on your Steam Deck?
Oh no.
I was about to say.
Easy.
I'm about to
Can-
fucking say how is that running?
You'd
Well,
be hearing.
Supposedly
Hold
it
the
works
floor.
on there, but you would be able to hear it running.
Alright. We're all assigned our units. You guys teleport in and suddenly feel a sudden burst of heat as the ambient temperature here is approximately 30 to 40 degrees warmer, as you can probably imagine, as a desert continent is suddenly being engulfed around you. Finishing the teleportation circle, you are rather not in Theraноdolan's house, but now are inside of a very well-lit area. It was morning-ish when you left Rutash, and over here it's about 7 to 8 hours ahead in time zone-wise, so it's about... I'd probably hash it about 3 o'clock.
Oh, do we get jet lag?
Instant. Like,
Oh, just
I
instant.
cast the thing, by the way. Straight
Teleportation lag.
away. The alt self is cast as soon as I.
Yeah, I
feel
stand
like
in. Well,
Everyone do a formation.
There is you hear from my suit a little whining like because you're like right. I'm just saying that to you because you're right next to me, like
wherever is there a doorway that leads out of the room we've teleported into?
The room you've teleported into is not so much a closed-off room. There are a series of square-shaped support pillars and just enough gap in between them that you can walk in between. All of the people who are around here suddenly notice there is a bright flash and smoke as the teleportation circle is used, and suddenly a bunch of random whoozy whatsits are suddenly inside of this room. They all turn around and ready their weapons. In this case is not a traditionally pointed spear that you're used to. It is a very long shafted weapon with a curved blade at the end of it. For those who are familiar with what is essentially a
What?
It's like a glaive.
Nothing's like these things with Pat.
it's a longer curved one, almost as if you took the end of a scimitar and put it on the shaft of a polearm.
Like
Very
a curved
long.
edge, or long with a stick.
It's a long curved blade. If you are familiar with Chinese polearms such as the Guandao, something akin to that, but more Arabic in design. The denizens here are wearing very light colors, mostly either pale white or beige if they can help it. The clothing is relatively loose, but is fitted on top with an armament breastplate, armored gloves, greaves, everything to cover the groin, and all sorts of different types of armor in between. Many of them speak with a very thick accent that is still in common tongue, but none of you are suddenly like it's unintelligible to you. If you can kind of just read in between the lines, many of the dialects here are still common tongue. The first person to approach you is one of the guards, moving a small bead curtain aside that is one of the only barriers to entry to getting into this locale. You can see beyond the bead curtain as he pushes it aside, and you can see a small man-made trench-like oasis that has been carved into the ground. Very clearish blue water is resting still, and only a couple ripples from a nearby spigot that disturb the... He fell into the water. Clear water from a spigot disrupts the surface of the water, causing it to ripple every once in a while. Beyond that, you can see what is essentially a small picnic setting of a couple of people sat on a large silken blanket that have a series of what looks to be some sort of smoking implement, a tray covered in small finger foods and delicacies, a drink that is being served in a very nice, almost silver-studded and encrusted with jeweled goblet, many of whom are also dressed in very light, airy clothing that is dyed a almost sky blue color and a couple of fuchsias in between. You've been here before, Siegeworth, Laszlo, Ivan,
Cool.
Dragan,
Ulrich.
Edward Ulrich, but you never really used this teleportation circle, but you've been acclimated to it from your time here, shooting wayward glances to just like, okay, that's the character for like the first quadrant, and eventually just the sheer amount of times you pass by this thing, you more or less were able to get a good study on it, which is why you can use it in the first place. In either case, the people around here are from what you presume to be, unless something terrible happened and something changed hands, but you're assuming that this is the Navarre family. Navarre being the last name of the former person you used to work for, Alexio Navarre, who is deceased, who is the
There's
person.
a guard coming up.
There are multiple guards, but only one approaches. The rest of them kind of just like peek around the large pillars that encompass this teleportation circle. One of them steps forward and he kind of hunches forward. He is actually quite a tall individual. Many people around Sanctus have not particularly short demeanors as... Demeanors? Not really a short stature. Many people here are relatively tall, but sometimes skinny. This one kind of hunches over in such a way that he's almost looking down at your forehead.
Oh yeah, this guy's much shorter as well than Laszlo in his alt self. But...
With one hand on the neck of his polearm and the other one kind of just resting on his hip, the individual strides forward. He looks very cautious, but casual, if that can be depicted in any kind of way. His stride is very stern, but his overall body posture says, like, just another day on the job sort of thing. Not expecting to just start swinging, he kind of approaches you and rests one hand, almost using his polearm as a walking stick, and at this point, a brace for him to lean up against. Leaning forward and inspecting you guys visually before speaking out. Welcome. Where are you coming from?
I return a greeting to him in Orcish, and then I put my right hand into a fist, and then I kind of punch myself in like the chest. I bow at the hip, and then when I stop bowing, I pat Ool on the back there with like, kind of like, hey, present that letter motion.
Oh, I start gesturing my hands and so on. Yes, we are here on behalf of Dolian. Here is a letter of confirmation.
What did that one just say?
Anyone else
it's
here
the princess.
No.
No one else speaks Orcish. Nope.
She speaks in foreign tongue. You can speak common here.
Oh, my apologies. I slip into that every now and again. Hello and good day.
Whatever language it is, it sounds boorish. He extends his free hand that's not leaning up against the polearm. What is this?
It's in common.
He unfolds it with one hand and flits it open. Reading very quickly, you can see his eyes darting to the side as he just scans the letter. It's not a particularly well filled out letter anyways, it's just a couple of sentences, a rubber stamp, and a little bit of border around the side that makes it look very fancy and official-like. The paper is also very high quality, as it came directly from Thurno Dolan's study. He likes to keep the very thick parchment, the kind that, when you crease it, it kind of almost starts to unfold itself. Okay, and what business have you here today, Mrs. Dolan?
Oh, go on. His medical reports, I believe, and just to recover from a recent ordeal.
I have
smile.
no idea
While
what you're
gesturing
talking
my
about.
hands, and I step back and I let Princess.
I am here to see my family.
I see. Well, if that's the case, then welcome back, Princess. And
I say thank you in Orcish.
I see.
And I nod.
You have picked up some local slang in your time away. In any case, and of the rest of you,
They are my guard, and I give like a beaming smile.
I see. Many of you are ill-dressed for the weather. We're going to draw a bead of sweat, and before it hits the ground, you'll be face planted in the sand. You should,
True.
take some time to dress down. Not here, obviously.
I'll at least take off my winter coat. Skeleton onesie it is.
You take off the winter coat, and it's just like a fucking skeleton morph suit underneath. Like, perfect. Ready to go.
Nice and light.
I mean, I thought we said we took off our winter gear.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
taken it all off.
Well, we all have winter boots, so you can't. I don't
Yeah, the
think we have
boots.
any
That's the
other
only
shoes on.
thing that.
Actually,
yeah.
I might not because I think the winter boots were redundant with the ranger stuff. But yeah, don't matter. Don't matter. Actually, I don't even remember.
Never redundant, Alec, okay?
I don't even remember. I may have or may not have winter boots. I may or may not have winter boots. But that's not. That is irrelevant to this particular conversation.
Well, if the princess is here on business, then before you depart, I'd ask that you check in with someone of great importance before you set out and go visit your family. Just a few things to take care of when people suddenly pop in unannounced into the teleportation circle. Typically speaking, there will be a tax associated, but considering to whom is being used by the teleportation circle, I feel it might be some things that need to be waved away. Not my place to say though. So, be on your way up the stairs on your right, and wait at the door until someone lets you in.
I punch my chest again, I give the waist bow, and I say thank you in Orcish, and then I start moving.
He gives a very raised eyebrow. It's like, why does she keep doing that? You guys exit, pushing past a bead curtain that kind of, for some of you, is already not, it doesn't drape all the way to the floor. For Zen, you can kind of just like squat ever so slightly and it doesn't touch you at all.
I look incredulously at the bead curtain as we pass it.
It's made of very colorful beads, many of which are, you're not entirely sure what the material is. Could be wood, could be stone, could be actual jewels, who cares?
I'll go in front of the princess and just push it open and just wait and just hold it as she passes by.
I will
I
utilize that
pat
as
you on the
well,
shoulder as I.
That's not mess with my form. Like,
Alright, I pat
Let you
you
guys
on
go
the
through.
shoulder as you let me through.
You see the other guards who are around this circle location, many of whom are kind of just giving you glances it over and kind of just like giving a brief nod, but then going back to their post, which they didn't really move from in the first place, so they kind of just nodded at you. It seems to be a very relaxed environment around here. Although they are on guard, they're kind of just like equivalent to when you go to a nightclub and you already know the bouncer, so he just kind of nods you in.
Well, they took a home invasion very well, so.
I think that was all you.
I don't say that out loud. That's me joking. I'm not like, yeah, dude, home
I
invasion.
got a bomb, right?
Fuck yeah.
You step out past the bead curtain and you can see a variety of people around here, many of whom are about 60% tabaxi, 40% other types of humanoid that don't nearly have as much fur. The color palettes around here for the fur patterns, for the tabaxi of the Navarre family, are sort of similar to that of a mountain lion, that dark golden-ish color, and little streaks of black and silver speckled in around that is unique to each individual. Many of the people who are on that little picnic silken blanket see you exiting, and many of them give that weird coquettish laugh where they use their hand or the back of their hand almost like they are trying to cover their teeth, and as you walk by they kind of just like go back to their business and begin what is presumably just doing some idle chatter or gossip between 1 to 4 other people at this little encampment.
I start confidently striding down the street.
Are there any red dragonborn as we?
As we head over to the office.
Make the
to
first
the
perception
right,
check
not
of
the street.
2023.
I will.
It also
That
occurs to me that I
is-
didn't read the recaps.
That is a 15 total.
You look around the area, and for the most part, you're looking out for Dragonborn. Of course, they're much easier to spot comparing just, regular human to an elf, which is just, look for the ears, and taller and lankier, I guess. But Dragonborn, of course, you pass over Daedalus because he's there already.
Oh my god, they're all right there.
As you pass through the halls, many of the people around here are mostly tabaxi, as I gave the previous percentile. No tabaxi. Sorry, no tabaxi. It's all tabaxi. No dragonborn of red color.
Cool.
Well, I misspoke before. I said striding down the street. I stride to the office that we were ushered towards.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Because we're not just like, yep, I'm ignoring everything because I'm here. No, I
This
walk to the
particular
office.
palace does have walkways between most major locations. It is in such a way that is basically the way that is laid out here, where the inner layer and outer layer are essentially an oasis in between each other. That's where most of these people are hanging out. There's enough shade cast by these tall walls that the direct desert sun of a 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon would just be beating down and causing great discomfort to people in your position who are not acclimated to this type of weather. In either case,
Does it affect me because I'm like Red Dragonborn, or do I just kind of feeling good?
it feels comfortable.
I feel good.
Don't sing the rest of that. I don't know how the new terms of service for YouTube is gonna be. Even if it's
That's all.
sung.
That's the only part.
Do.
Watch out, copyrighted.
In either case, you make your way through these hallways. Your noses are filled with very, very potent scents, equivalent of running through the perfume department at a strip mall and kind of just taking a deep whiff. Everything here is either from burning incense, what is essentially candied fruits, so you can smell like burning sugar and the sweetness of the fruits themselves. The plants here are very bright and vibrant as well, although you're not entirely sure if cactus gives off a scent, and I'd advise not to smell too closely. In either case, you walk past most of these things and are back into what is mostly an interior setting. The windows around here are very open, with very, very open settings. The shutters are available for nighttime when people don't want to just have you break into their house, but at the moment they are open and you can see the streets of the city, and it's bustling at this time. It's only about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so obviously there's not going to be much reason for people to not be in the streets. In either case, let me just go ahead and...
I say over my shoulder to Ool, it smells nice, but in Orcish.
Lalo says
I
something
don't
at you.
respond because I don't fucking know what he's saying. I go, yeah.
And I nod.
Discussed this before.
I look over at Varys. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know. I don't speak. That's I think it's Orcish. I don't understand why he's doing it. None of us understand him.
Just keep going. We'll try and drop some.
Me and Varys are just like fucking just looking at each other. Like, what the fuck?
I just say to you, just take it in, guys. Just take it in.
You go past a couple of doors, most of which are slightly ajar. You can see other people in there doing miscellaneous things, just hanging out, reading books. Another one seems to be a small storage facility. That one is the only door that's currently closed. Everyone else is kind of just hanging it loose, keeping their doors open, just in case Mom wants to peek in and make sure you're not jerking off or something. You get
My
to...
leg itched and a bunch.
And a virus opened this on my computer,
What is that?
and I was so scared.
That I had to make sure all of my
Ghost.
I had to, yeah.
Oh.
And I wanted to I performed a ritual and the liquid is I had to
I had
I
to
saved the day.
I had to
You
cleanse
get
the
it wrong.
computer with my internal juices.
Wait.
Oh.
This is actually Chinese censorship. This is actually blood, and
Yeah.
they just colored it white.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah.
You make your way past a couple of these doors, and eventually you get to one at the one end of a hallway. It is flanked on both sides of the doorway by two guards in similar garb to the rest of the other guards you've seen around here. The door is closed, but there is a very nice stained glass window that allows you to kind of see through it, but it is a murky design in such a way that you can tell there's a presence on the other side, but no fine details otherwise.
I give the old chest punch, hip bend, head nod. I am here to pay taxes.
You're not paying taxes.
One of the guards raises an eyebrow. This is not a tax facility, ma'am.
I look at. Are we not to pay a teleport tax?
No, we're here to see someone recommended by the guard we met earlier.
Names?
Point back to Princess.
Princess Hu Long. And I give them a smile.
Make a charisma check.
Sure.
You probably won't need it, but go ahead and add a +5 to that.
Alright, hold on.
I don't know.
I mean, what kind of
that's-
charisma is it?
Plus 5 is good.
Persuasion?
That's a good.
Just it's just raw charisma because you're not trying to persuade him really. You're just trying to act charismatic,
deal.
and also the fact that you keep pronouncing the name wrong.
It's Hua Long.
16.
Apologies, Princess. You've gained a new dialect in your time away. It is good to see you again.
I just
Whom or why is your business here?
I give him a quizzical look, and then I look over at Ool. And then I motion to Ool to, like, step forward and please bridge the gap between us.
Medical reports, recovering from an injury, and to just visit Sanctus because they've been away for time, as you just stated.
If
We
you're
are
here to give the
guard.
medical reports for the princess, you are in the wrong estate.
Right.
This is the
Understood.
Navarre family estate. And while we do have ties with the Morgemoth family to whom Princess Hualong is associated, we do not take care of the medical reports. We
Understood.
are welcoming you as a member of the Morgemoth family. However, you are in the wrong estate. You are to go to the Morgemoth estate up the hill at the cliff's breach.
Check
Right.
this piece of paper first, just to fully clear some of the air up. Just yeah.
I thank him in Orcish.
He holds the paper, reads it briefly, and hands it back to you. Alright, well, I'm assuming that you are here to make sure that your use of the teleportation circle is documented.
Yeah.
Very well. There's too many of you, though. Only one person at a time in the office.
Oh.
The rest of you may stay out here. Relax and have a seat on the bench if you please.
Sure.
Over.
I,
Wanna go in,
I
princess?
say to the rest of the party, stay your legs. And then to Ull,
Stay the legs, man.
as
Am I coming in as well? Well, it's just one at a time. I can't come in with you.
as my liaison, you may
Sure.
go for me.
Okay.
And then I
Okay.
thank him in Orcish.
Alright. There's some water here.
Are there any chairs?
Yes, benches.
You have to stay your legs, apparently. So you
I sit on the bench, but like crisscross applesauce.
Alright.
Now.
Hogging up more rooms than is what is usually used, about 1.5 persons worth, because your knees go out and make sure the person next to you can't get a proper seat, so whoever's sitting next to Dauntless get fucked. In either case, the rest of you folks get to sit around and wait on these benches. There is a small side table that is a assortment of small, pink-sized fruits, kind of like somewhere between dates and grapes that are not on vines. They have also been already peeled and kind of look like lychee.
I pick one at random and then I eat it like a complete savage. Like open mouth chewing.
I heard that sigh from within the office. Like, wind, or is that Varys? Like,
Passing through the office, you sit down in a very small room. It is a series of... Besides the door, each wall has a small slit that acts as a window. There's a jaw curtain that is really just a series of concentric slats of wood that can be drawn down to cover the slit windows. On the other side of the table there is an individual who is currently filing a series of papers and moving small pouches of money from one side of his desk to another before hastily writing down in some sort of ledger what is apparently maybe his, transfer of money. This is a advanced state of aging process, as you haven't seen this guy in what is essentially 25 years. But there are some parts of him that tell you that this is Alexio's nephew, Nazir. Of course, he's not going to recognize you. You're in a different state and is not expecting you in the first place, so he looks up and gives you a very stern look, and not so much a way that he is like scrutinizing you, but it's sort of like, there's a guy in my office, I gotta put on a professional face sort of thing. He stops stamping and writing and putting the bags of money to one side of his desk, folds his fingers in between each other and kind of holds it in the center of his desk. I welcome you. My name is Nazir. I am the patriarch of the Navarre family. I am understanding from the conversation heard briefly outside that you are using our teleportation circle. Who are you?
I am Ulrich, hired by Mr. Dolin from Lutosh, as well as both divers. Yes, that's me. I'll pass you this note of paper. Yeah.
He reads over the letter and hands it back to you. Again, it's not a very long letter, so it doesn't take that much time to read. Hands it back to you, folded between his fingers. And how did you grant access to our teleportation circle? I've never heard of you.
A previous employee of Mr. Dolan's notebook was left behind, and I was granted this by Dolan, as they needed to come to Sanctus, or Princess needed to come to Sanctus. This is the best way to come is through teleportation, other than being on a boat, so, where I came in.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but I like missed the first half of that. I know you're sick, but I couldn't hear some of that.
I was just saying that our previous employee's notebook was secured when they flew the coop, and I was hired to use that notebook, which had their teleportation stuff on it, and that's why I was hired. So we don't have to spend time on a boat.
Go ahead and make a what's it called, deception.
17.
Let me lower the music a little bit. That's all.
I think I'm just going to speak in a normal voice. It's been trying to be as articulate as I can.
We know that there was supposed to be a voice, Dan. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We know.
After handing you back the letter and you telling him this, he looks over your person. You're dressed in outsider's clothes, so and the princess is here in the well.
He will be well. Recent attack left them a little bit wounded, and we had our medical report, and it was advised that they come to a hotter climate to recover and confirm a few things for the family in the flesh. I'm sure you're privy to the trade deal that's gone on between the pearl divers and the Mordramoths, and this is just a more direct way of...
Only at surface value level. I am not really privy to that sort of thing. Although I am associated, we are associated with the Mordramoth family, some things like that only get to the surface. Everyone knows that Princess Falong was sent overseas to bring over be a pearl-related things to this. Many of your shipments have come in through this port, so that is why I'm privy to it. But anything else other than that is not my business to speak of. I'm not married to her after all, and it's not anything besides a business orientation that we have with the Mordramoth family.
Is it? Who else is in the room? Is it just me and him?
It's you, him, and the other two guards, but like the office is so small, and like you could turn around and like if you just took half a step forward, you could like reach out and touch one of the guards.
Oh, okay. So
It's a small office.
Right. I was straight up just gonna drop the disguise then. So nah, good thing I didn't. Okay. I mean, what are you privy to? What's gotten across the sea? All the while I'm gesturing my hands.
In regards to what?
Recent events in Oldport.
I get small reports of when they come in for shipments.
Sure. There was an assassination attempt on the princess, and it left them wounded, and that's hence why they're here. Thought this would have reverberated over. But I'm
Well,
sorry
things
to
take
bring-
time to bring over information from so far across the seas. And we don't just have people teleporting in and out all the time to just give reports like that. Serious as it may sound, again, that is not my family. I am only economically associated with the Mordramoth family. As much as it sounds like I do not care, I very much am suffering with you as the princess is injured. I guess.
way of putting it.
Alright, well, if you are with the Princess Falong and you're in business for the Mordramoth family, there's no tax to be paid for use of the teleportation circle. Thank you for checking in, and be on your way.
Would I have had any of the leftover? You gave me the glass, didn't you, Andrew, from the unicorn? And I remember I had the rubber band as well. Did you give me that? I know we didn't just discard it. want to try to leave this guy a hint or something?
I want to say yes because it's not in my inventory, but that's as far as
I
I
have
can
it marked
remember
in
because that was a
mine.
long time ago.
Was it just completely shattered into like tiny, tiny little bits, or is it like chunky?
I think
Because if there's
it's-
like a chunky bit like the head,
It's
it remain
glass powder.
like, just glass powder. Is there a bit? I got a bit of the rubber band, maybe. I don't know.
You're gonna sneeze glass powder.
That is a good way to
to die.
kill
Yeah.
someone from internal bleeding.
Oh yeah, shit! Let's not do that. I will.
Glass.
Wait, you were considering it? I was kidding. Joking.
I'm just gonna.
Pocket glass.
I'm just gonna say, like, on my journey from Samsara here, I was accosted by a unicorn on the road, and yeah, it was a rubbery situation. And I stand up, and I'm
Why
gonna.
are you telling me this?
I call him by his name. Yeah. I just get up and go. Laszlo's flustered.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good day. No, that's all I say, and I get up.
As you exit, one of the guard holds the doors open for you and closes it as soon as you're out of the way, as to not slam you with the door. The rest of your party is there. You can see Daedalus is currently, like any anime character whose like whole shtick is, oh, I love to eat. He's doing that with the fruits.
Well, I'm like I said, I'm eating them one at a time, but like open mouth, like chomping.
You're making a very unprincess-like display of yourself. It
Is
is
there
the
any-
opposite of dainty.
Is there any part of if I sit outside, am I able to still see into that office at all, whilst the door's still open?
The door is currently closed right now.
Okay.
He closed it behind you. One of the guards. And the rest of your companions are just sat on benches waiting for you to exit.
When you come out, I ask you in common, we are settled?
Yes, we're all settled.
Do you look startled?
I look a bit flustered, yeah.
I say wonderful in Orcish, and then I stand up.
I'm just gonna sit. I need to take a seat in a minute, though. This heat is horrific.
It's a new shoe.
Alright, since I've been eating dates, I kind of like clap my hands, and then I pat you on the shoulder, so I'm not like wiping my hands on your shoulder. Courteous.
Just need to do an errand one moment. And I'm gonna cast the message spell as stealthy as I fucking can. And I'm just gonna message the Zero and be like, by the way, that was me. It's like, I see you couldn't drop a direct hint.
Am I able to pick up what he's putting down when I see him like doing hand motions and shit?
Oh,
It's verbal, somatic, and material, so.
so you need to take out the message feather and then basically do Naruto hand signs and then blow
I
into your
will-
fucking thing, so...
I will impose myself between him and the guards with my back towards them, and I start talking to him in Orcish.
You
Yeah.
message spell, and,
I just want to say if there's a place to meet, that would be
and
ideal.
the room hallway that you're in, even having Dauntless stand in front, you can still see Siegeworth doing this. If you're not a sorcerer who has like access to subtle spell casting, is
Yeah.
still
Cast-
not
cast.
subtle. You send out the message to Nazir in the opposite room, just on the other side of the door. Anything else?
No, we can go now. Let's just go. I just said like that was me. So the gist of it was that was me.
That was me, not even that was Siege Worth.
Yeah, that was. I said that was
was me.
Siegeworth just then. I could not say directly. Yeah. Let's meet. And that. So just keep it as brief as I can.
I kind of hold my hand out to help you stand up.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Let's go.
I motion for you to lead the way. I don't know where I'm going.
Lead us out.
I
Walking
would
throughout
al- I
the
would-
palace, you exit through one of the many doors. There are different exits that you can do. Some are more lavish than others. One is just a really, really, really nice gatehouse that has a gilded portcullis that is either completely made of gold or at least gold-plated, but either way it looks really shiny.
I have to use the bathroom here. Actually.
You exit out into the streets of the city of Raja and Locke, which is the name of the town, by the way, or city. And you can see people going about their business. Everyone is dressed, again, in light colors that are very loose and airy. The materials are typically silky in nature, but not necessarily made of silk. It could be cotton, it could be some other thing that is probably not wool, because that would retain a lot of heat and kill you in the desert sun.
Just heat death immediately.
I'm gonna put this wool cap on my newly born baby. And
no.
its brain's fried.
That's not good.
And dead.
Let's just make another one. You can see all sorts of people in the streets, many of whom are doing shopping. There are an assortment of buildings here of varying sizes. Many of them are the same color, as maybe they've been constructed from the same quarry, and even the town's walls are the same dark orangish brown color. It is a type of dark sandstone that you would associate with like adobe huts. Not the computer program, the buildings in like Mesoamerica. And either way, people are going about their business, carrying large baskets of random goods on their shoulders or heads. The type of animals you see around here, you don't see horses. It's mostly camels and other things you would associate with this type of climate. Horses are okay around these parts, however, when traversing on sand, they're not so good, as their hooves kind of just dig into the sand and make it, honestly, probably slower than just walking on your own 2 feet, because they need to wrench themselves out from the sand, and the weight is not very well distributed on a horse's hoof. Meanwhile, camels, their toes flange out and can evenly disperse their weight on sandy surfaces. With that in mind, where are you going to go to?
I mean, probably the first port of call would probably be currency exchange.
Ah, yes, I got that.
We are poor as fuck.
Yes, let us
we have no
go.
severe-
Currency exchange.
Current money is 0.
Yeah, so I will take them to where I remember. Where back in the day, where it was. It might be somewhere else now.
I mean, I'm assuming there are guards everywhere, but like specifically like the Nazir guards. Once we're out of the site of the compound, I think I would ask. So, how did we get anything? Or I'm guessing you didn't have a
Got
chance
nothing
for a
yet,
real.
but I've dropped the hint.
Okay, good.
And you're positive this guy is on the level, right?
I mean, if he's not on the level, I don't know.
Okay.
There's no one else on the level. This will be the guy on the level.
Okay. He like I said yesterday, he's our best lead. But
Exactly.
like,
So
do we
have to go out on a limb here?
Well, we got to take chances at some point. So.
Exactly. So yeah, currency exchange. I mean, how much you want? What are you need?
I got 1,000 gold.
It is 3.
We're not gonna be here that long.
Well, just in case, spending money. Just in case if.
Is this your
the
gold
princess-
or is
No, this is the leftover.
the leftover?
Oh, that's perfect then.
Oh, what?
Uh,
What?
oh.
You mean the leftover from Dolan?
Yes, sir. From
Drop
Hus-
in cash. Yeah.
Well, if it's his money, we could just transfer it back for him
Money.
and then give back to him.
Come
So
on.
that's fine.
Here, have this fucking paper.
Here, whenever your people go to Sanctus, your other
It's, so
train.
ten-
when
Hence,
we
what-
when we found the currency in the mattress, there were currency exchanges in Rutash. So the worst case scenario,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can.
What I have here, Adam, if this is crystal correct, 10 sermit equals 3 gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so whatever gold you have is transferred by that anyway.
So 3,000 gold. And
3,000
3,000
Serbia, yeah.
Romans.
I'm not
I
gonna
put
try.
I put them down as ruples.
Is sermir like SIR, sir?
No, wait, the exchange
No,
rate
it's-
was 10
Wait,
to
I thought it
3.
was Semir.
10 to 3,
It's
yeah.
Samir, S-A-M-I-R.
Oh.
I'm gonna write it and put it in the thing.
Samir, okay.
So 10 to 3. That means
3,000 Samir.
That's the transfer rate. Thanks, Doctor Who.
Next
Transferring
up,
that message.
I don't know that math. I'm trying to figure out that because it's like 3 gold equals 10 Samir, so that means
oh, I thought you guys said it was 3,000. Oops.
However, Samir you want divided by 3, right?
so it's 1,000 gold. What's I don't know.
Alright, how much gold do we have?
1,000, so it would be 333 Samir? Because you said it was
10 divided by 3 is 3. So maybe I think you might be right. It's because it's 3.3 times
Guys, his culture's so from.
1,000.
Ooh.
Oh no, it's 3,330. Because it's 3.33. Wait, I'm fucking
It's like
confused.
it's like an irrational.
No,
it's
no,
one of-
3.3 is a good base. Just do 3.3. It's not our money
Times
anyway, so we can shave off a
1,000?
little bit. Yes. So, well,
I
3,000
don't know, this
times...
transferred.
Oh no, you said it was 3,000 gold, or is it 1,000 gold?
1,000.
It's 1,000 gold, so it's that times 3.3 repeating. So
So 3,330.
yeah,
There you go.
Woo! Currency exchange.
Write that.
Big.
Put that in. As a,
I already
how much?
did.
3,000. Or put it in our
3,330.
so we know. Like, there's a. We know. 3,330. Okay.
Now let's split it 5 ways. Um,
Well, hold your horses there, buckos, because you don't get to just exchange your currency for
Flat
free.
rate.
There's a fee.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's the free?
The fee is... Well, how much Samir did you exchange into?
3,330 with 1,000 gold.
Alright, well, let's take 3,333.
Get 5 submit.
It's 5% fee, so they take off 160.
Oh shit, that multiplied.
Takes off 160, so 3,170.
yes, math.
Woo! Money.
Okay. That's our cash.
Alright, guys, don't spend it all now.
The location of the currency exchange is very close to the docks. It's a very cool breeze as you encroach onto the docks away from the walled parts of the city. Several boats are coming in and out, many of which look like they are local, judging by the tapestry used for their sails. The colors are synonymous with what you've seen around the rest of the city, and a couple of international-looking vessels.
There you go, boat check. Is there any cool boats? Any recognizable boats?
No.
Okay.
To your family's house, princess?
I nod, and then I motion for Ool.
I go based on the directions up to the hill, right?
As you look around, the tallest hill and the tallest building is set in such a way that it overlooks one of the nearby cliff faces. The building itself is been set aside as to not be part of the major part of the city, as if to say, we are not with you people, but we preside above you, in such a way that you can see it from almost anywhere in the city, as long as you have enough line of sight, not being broken by, say, walls or whatever. You can see a variety of people are guarding it. There are several gatehouses and guard towers that surround the area, and several armed guards who are more covered up compared to the rest of the city guard here. Whether or not they're associated or the same ones, or just specifically hired out by the Mordremoths for the Mordremoths, that's more likely the case. You can make your way over there, passing by the city. The docks itself is in a very low lull at this time of day, and you approach a very tall series of staircases that, for those of you who don't like climbing stairs, well, get used to it, because there's a lot.
I love pyramids.
Well, you're not going to the pyramid, you're going to the...
He's just saying he loves pyramids, man.
I love pyramids.
Sorry,
I just say that.
I went to the bathroom. Where are we going?
We're going to the pyramids.
Yeah, no,
We're going up
a
these
hill.
massive stairs because we love
your
fucking
card
stairs.
Alright,
Woo!
let's make use of the... What the hell did you guys do to your minis?
We're over here at
I
the
didn't
front.
move nothing.
Hold on, wait, we're missing someone.
I put myself. I'm next
Blood
to.
in the water again.
Oh wait, no, I'm next to
I didn't move
old
mine.
Turok.
Hold on, wait, there's Dauntless,
How did he
Laszlo.
get it? That's where
Where's-
he's traveling. Like.
Alright, I moved
there.
my mini right out to the front gate of the.
Well, I'm just
Right
trying
out to. I'm also
just-
right next to everyone.
I'm just trying to get it so that we're all together so we can use the new,
Lasso, right? That was called.
the select
Oh.
multiple feature.
That's new?
Do it.
Relatively
Well,
speaking.
check
Oh,
the
you
patch
didn't. You
notes,
didn't.
my
You didn't
guy.
pick us
Hold on,
up.
wait, hold on, wait.
What's
Sorry.
new? I just got that.
Select multiple feature.
We got money, Pat.
I know we got money. How
Here
much?
comes
to,
money.
We're going to.
Oh, are we
No, I heard
dividing
the
that?
split
Okay,
apart. I know we're
divide
going.
No,
that-
you hold it.
Okay, I hold it. Okay. Just let me know when you guys want money. I hold it.
Okay. I do want money actually. How
Where's
much
my
do we
pocket
get
money?
each?
How much do you want?
I don't know. Some.
I give you.
I
I give you 400 Samir. Write
And
that
it's
down. And it's gone.
What do you mean? Yeah, I spent it though.
Kinda.
And on the way to the mansion.
Guys, this friendly merchant told me that this small pencil is worth 3,000
Oh yeah.
Samir.
And
Guys,
as we
I bought this old lamp.
As
Told me if I
we-
gave him
as-
this flame tongue sword, I'd get some gold back.
as we go along, if there's any like interesting merchants too, that'd be nice to keep an eye out for. DM.
Make a perception check. And what does interesting merchant mean to you? Because I can
For
just-
me, actually, it'll mean jewel shop, jewelry shop.
well, there are multiple people. Actually, no, there's just one because that
It'd have
shit
to be
is.
Mordremoth, you'd
that's
fucking
Mord-
die. Like,
Yep,
you'd
that
be
is,
killed if you.
The Mordremoth store.
There is
We're
one
going up-
large building that is marked off with the Mordremoth family crest, and has a very large guard presence in both the front, back, and even one guy at the window.
That'd be like if a store opened up. It's like we're selling U.S. currency.
I look at the princess. Would you mind stepping into the jewelry shop real quick? Don't.
Should we
Please don't
visit
cost
the
us.
family
discount.
first?
Is that what I'm hearing right now?
Please, no. I actually need to buy fine jewelry for an enchantment that I'm doing.
Hold your face a little bit. Give me some money off.
Well, I don't. No. But here's the thing. I don't want you to toss your weight around. I'm buying really nice jewelry. That's all I need.
I nod and I motion like lead the way, but I say
Say
lead the
no
way in
more.
Orcish.
Okay.
Let's not.
Say no more.
I think we should visit the family first.
Yeah.
Fine.
And maybe, and also maybe not like say, hey, I'm a Mordremoth. I think we established from Dolan.
Alright, let's
that
go visit the
maybe
family. Let's
your
be
name
reasonable,
doesn't have as
Zen.
much weight as you think it does.
I guess
No,
age.
I give you like a knowing nod. Like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna.
I guess age does come with wisdom. Let's go to the fucking family
You're a
first.
fucking idiot.
You're fucking
Fine.
old.
I'm young. Young guns.
You get
Big
to the bottom of the
jewels,
flight that leads up into the area. You can see I've put you guys' minis at the bottom of this staircase here, right below this staircase in the guard tower. You can see a variety of people on guard, moving back and forth in patterns that would eventually form a rut if this guy was given a chance.
How much time has passed now?
To walk there probably took you about 7 minutes.
Yeah, since
We
we
were just
got
right
out
down
of
the road.
Since we got out the portal. Just 7 minutes total.
No, that's just from the Nazir
Uh,
family thing. Hold on.
Because if it gets towards an hour, I'm gonna have to recast my alter self. Just to. There was a spot I could have done that prior to heading to this place. I would have
Probably
done
about
that.
25 minutes inside the Nazir estate, and then another 7 minutes to get to where we are now.
Okay. We should be fine for. Like around the 30.
So you're at the bottom of this flight of stairs, and you can see the very large estate of the Morjamoth family looming overhead.
And nudge towards the princess. It's like, you know, there's.
I stand with.
Oh yeah, if you know we're like Delta formation, she's at the front, you know, and then we're
Yeah,
just like.
but that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking me at the front with Wool and Varys standing at my direct next to me, and then Zen
Isn't this
and Kalos at the
Daros?
far end.
This Daros, or are we doing you?
No, I'm Varys. Daros is if we need to like specify what happened. Like if
Yeah.
basically like
He'll be used if necessary.
Daros is mentioned only if events Daros was present for need to be recounted, but he's not. Daros is not present at the moment.
Yeah,
I am
me-
not. I'm not pretending to be someone else. I'm just. As far as like that's more of a because as far as like everyone out the rest of the world is concerned, Daros was the one at the cabin and also was the one who killed the bear. So it's like it's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier than doing a whole song and dance. Say no, I drew a magic card, and that's why all written record says otherwise.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Like I said, I'm directly flanked on my sides by Varys and Ul, and then on the outer rim is Kalos and Zen. Ul being my paper handler, and Varys being translator.
I've got the medical report. I've got that in my hands.
Paper.
I'm the paper guy.
My paper functionary.
Well.
You begin ascending the stairs. No one stops you at any moment. They do take notice of you because they are on guard. But for the most part, you see that at least this wall, staircase, and some of the upper parts of the estate are not off limits to the public. Some people like to stand around here. You can even see one guy with a easel and a painting set who is currently painting a seascape with the Morjamoth family estate in the foreground.
I go to look at that actually.
He's probably about 60% done with the painting. He's using a very interesting series of like pastels and oils.
I say looks good in Orcish, and then I keep walking.
No way, it's Callum.
He looks over his shoulder, and the Tabaxi artist who is painting, he has a very wide-brimmed hat to keep the direct sun out of his face while he's painting. He looks around and just like, who the fuck said that kind of look? And then as you just walk away with your entourage behind you, he just like shrugs his shoulders and continues his painting. Eventually, let's use the select all function again.
Ooh, features.
Okay, I can't do that. That'll actually take me out.
Oh my god, yeah,
That'll
fucking.
be like you on the fucking.
Ooh, this wild magic table says must do Nick impression.
Oh shit! I did a cast. I did.
You just gotta talk like you're trying to
Speaking
herniate
of
your
wild
entire
magic,
spine.
We forget 2 or 3 quickly.
It's been 2 weeks.
I need to roll 1. Yeah, no 2. I need to do 2 of them. So 1 for the teleport.
No, he did not make
Oh no,
this.
actually no. Message doesn't count because it's a cantrip.
Download.
We're good for the first one. Second one. 88. Okay, fine. Whew, we're fine.
You pass by all sorts of other people who are just idling around here and just having conversations. The view of the city here is absolutely gorgeous, and you can see why the Morjamoths would have wanted to have their family estate in this particular town overlooking from the city. And immediately to your right is a beautiful seascape. There is little activity out there besides a couple of small fishing vessels that are only large enough to do coastal fishing and can't go out to the deep sea. You even look down over the side and you can see that there are a series of guards on some of the lower portions to make sure no one's doing some weird Assassin's Creed thing where they climb up over the side and sneak in and do some nefarious bullshit. But either way, you traverse along this the seawall and eventually get to the main grounds, where you can see that there is a line of 3 guards, and you can see that all the civilians who are idling and occupying this location do not go beyond this point.
Is there like a queue or?
There is no queue, but people just aren't waiting around here in the first place. They're not loitering around the guards, and they give a decently wide berth around this particular location as you see people walking past it. It seems that you can even see the tiling here is different, and is of higher quality stone masonry to denote that this is the cool side.
I'm just gonna make a turn and just say to the rest of the group, I forgot one kind of crucial thing. Make sure you gesture your hands a lot. That's a thing here.
As in,
When you speak, just and don't look authority in the eye. I might have said that before, but that's like
Not look anyone in the eye. Got
an
it.
Don't
authority
look
the
anyone
eye.
in the eye and speak with your fucking hands. I
Yeah,
got you, my man. Hey, yo!
Yeah.
I'm walking over here.
I give you a nod and say understood in Orcish.
Might not necessarily apply to you. Okay. So there's 3 guys.
this is
in
gonna
front
go
of us.
wonderful.
I gesture. I go hello. We have the Princess Hualong here, coming from Utosh. May we enter?
One of the guards who is standing there speaks up, the other 2 kind of just stand there at attention. This one is standing in the centermost in this position, so let me just get...
Where are we at? Oh, this big one. Okay.
so I'll get this...
Let me get my voice changer.
Zooming in.
I'm a badass. How can I help you?
Something's in the way.
humanoid?
Robert
I'm
Pattinson.
vengeance.
I'm Laszlo.
I'm vengeance.
Shit.
I'm Laszlo.
I'm being stabbed. Catman.
Catman.
Yeah, it's 2 cats, right?
Right, let's move
Kalos
this
is right at
around.
home here. He's a cat person. Right?
Krios? Well, I'm not a cat person. As if we're having this conversation before we
No, we're
walked
not.
up.
We're
Okay,
not.
all right.
Or not. I wouldn't just say that in front of
I would actually tell you that he's not, but yeah.
I hate cats.
The guard looks at you and over to the princess. He gives a very stern look over, as if he is visually inspecting to confirm that this is the princess. The individual in mind is a human man of very sanctus-looking descent. He has 2 tabaxis also with him on his immediate left and right. He looks to the princess, and Varys, you understand that he looks at the princess and says, "Welcome back, princess," in Draconic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I give.
She's excited. I say in Draconic, she's very excited to be back.
Shut up.
Just for illustrative purposes.
Or I say in common, actually. I say in common, she's very... No, actually, no. Do it. Actually,
They know the languages.
Oh wait. Okay.
I
Do you?
I say
translate
nothing.
this
You
for
know
me?
what? Actually, I say to you, they're welcoming you back. Quiet. Not like outwardly and obviously, but not also... No, I'm not whispering it, but like
You're
I'm
gonna
also
lean
like...
in to them, like
I say... I basically say it just conversationally to Daedalus, not to...
I give
I
a
don't make a show.
dignified bow, like the one that I linked.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing that came to mind. And then I give them a greeting in Orcish.
All of them narrow their eyes at that. The one human that you are speaking to looks to the rest of you guys and then back at the princess. Over again, Varys, you're the only one who speaks Draconic. He looks at the princess and says, "The heavens beseech you."
I look quizzically at him, and then I look quizzically at Varys.
In common, I say the princess suffered a head injury at some point in the during her travels in Rutash. She's not quite there.
I apologize in common, and then just say I forget myself.
Yeah.
Varys, make a deception check.
Add a +5 to that.
Okay. Do we have D6s to use?
Let me just read over the thing on the Discord just to make sure. This is for 88. I'm not going to read them right now. I'm just going to check to see who does and doesn't have something to cover. That is... Puss in Boots? What? I forget the context of that one.
That was my recreation of that's his current outfit.
I have for... Alec has one. Dan did his collage. Andrew just posted a bunch of GIFs. Henry did not. Pat did not.
Look at the rocks one again.
This is for session
Rocks
88.
are bad and I hate
No, I
them.
forgot I put that picture in the Egyptian guy.
Oh, does that count?
That
What?
no, that doesn't
What is
count. Well, Andrew did the collage, so that's why I'm saying he has one. But you don't get one for the fucking
You'll get one
Caucasian
for
guy in the
me.
Egyptian headdress.
No, okay, I explained this to Alec. I saw that at like 11 o'clock at night, and it made me laugh for like a good 5 minutes.
So yeah, those of
5
you who
minutes?
did the 88 ones from last week, you'll have your thingamajig. So
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
everyone except for Henry and Pat and Gronk.
Boys.
Alright, burning it right now, though. Alright, that's 3 plus 8 plus... So I got a plus... Alright, let's see.
Roll a 3.
I rolled a 3 on... No, I rolled a 3 on my D6. So 3 on the D6 plus my plus 1 plus Callus's plus 5. So I got plus 9. So let's see what happens. Ooh. That's not bad. I just gotta remember how to do math. That is a 23 total.
Okay, that's good, that's good.
The guard that you were speaking to nudges the one to his immediate left, and you hear him tell him to get one of the food platters ready. The guy on his immediate left goes off and runs into the palace. He says in common to the rest of the party, but lays his eyes on the princess. Tabaxi got your tongue, princess.
Common.
No, I forget myself. I've come to heal and see my family.
Not soon afterwards, the guy who was sent off comes running back. He has one platter in each hand, one of which has a series of what looks to be like hand towels, and another one that has a couple of snacks. He bends down on one knee in such a way that the platters are at your like elbow height, so you don't have to lift your arm up too high. It's very...
I have to lift up.
Oh yeah. sorry, Shorty.
I pass one to Zen.
I throw one down at him.
I also motion for the Tabaxi to stand up.
As soon as he's done serving you guys, he puts the platter on a nearby shelf that is next to his guard station, and the main human guard that was speaking with you guys gives a brief nod to the princess, but he gives a very stern and almost a quizzical look at the rest of the party who's around here. In common, he says, Who are the rest of these?
They are my bodyguards.
They look filthy.
I smell like pure honey.
I'm also dripping with
Bitch, what are you saying?
I'm dripping with honey.
I'm literally.
I look at them. How filthy are they?
It's also extremely hot, and I'm wearing heavy plate, and
I-
for some weird ass reason, I'm not sweating. I'm just like, I look cool. I look good. Like, I'm just like,
I bathed a few days ago.
I'm
I
not
wake up
beating
to
sweat. I'm
finest world
fucking chilling.
It's all pooling in your feet, mate. I don't know.
You don't know
That's not sweat.
anything.
But for the most part, compared to some of the other people you've seen around here, you guys are comparably disheveled. As a local Laszlo, you'd know that many people are very, very into perfumes, and like skin
like
conditioners and lotions and all sorts of other things that, beauty products, that sort of thing.
I should shoot a look to Zen as these guys seem a little dishevelled. As compliment their honey a little bit, and I pass him the perfume. One of the nice perfumes that we purchased.
Well, we just came from cold climate. We need to
Yeah.
get some new clothes.
Adjustment period.
More important to see me bring the princess to her family first.
To the princess, and then over to Laszlo / Seasworth / Ivan /
Ulrich.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe. Oh no.
I'd advise the rest of you to be presentable before you show yourselves before the princess's family. I'm disgusted for them.
Wanna go back into town?
Gotta hit the marketplace then. Thank you for your
Right.
advice.
We will see you when you get back and make yourself presentable. The public baths are open until 8 p.m.
I give a hip, or not hip, waist bow.
I fucking shake my ass at you.
No, I give like the chest pump waist bow. Or
Really
chest
thrust
punch
towards
waist
him, not the
bow.
Once I'm pretty sure we're out of earshot from them, I'm just gonna. I just like, what the fuck is with the orcish? Stop! You're not helping us. Just speak common.
Let them do this thing. You guys need to be moving your hands more as well. I didn't hear any gesturing up there. You're doing the gesture.
Laszlo, you would know where the bathhouse is.
Alright, come on.
Hold on. We need to look a little bit more sophisticated than public
Let's get some
bathhouses.
clothes first, then we can hit the baths.
Let's hit up something more private and something more luxurious because we need to pick up images. We need to pick image here.
Yeah, you guys do that. Just use the money that we got.
You, princess, you're along with the ride.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm right here for you guys. I give you a thumbs up.
Laszlo, the best
You
bathhouses you know of.
There are two different bathhouses. One is essentially the poor people one, and the other one is for the wealthy. So, you may choose which bathhouse you attend.
If I'm gonna die at a bathhouse, and it's gonna be a nice one. Don't call me last. And yeah. I'll go
Laszlo is
to a-
beaten by his gay love.
Slip of the tongue.
Hammer.
You make your way over to one of the bathhouses that you are familiar with. The cheap one is closer to the seaport, and you might surmise they might just dump salt water on you. The other one is on almost the polar opposite, towards the edge of the city that faces eastwards, a little bit towards the Navarre household. Actually, it's only maybe like a couple doors down. There is no queue.
Hello again.
Well, you're not at that Navarre household. You're going to the bathhouse.
No, I know. That was not in character.
Peek your head out.
Oh, okay.
What's going on?
You are at the bathhouse. It is a very large building, of which is surrounded by a series of high walls that prevent people from, peeking and being perverts and whatnot.
Wait, am I filthy or did I take a bath before we left?
I took a
We're
bath
all-
a few days ago.
I don't know your
We're
hygiene
all
routine.
filthy.
None of you guys bathe on a regular
Yeah.
basis.
Well, I took a bath once.
I
Yeah,
would
great.
probably
How long
bathe
ago was
as
that?
much as I can, Adam,
don't
actually,
remember.
because of my narcissism, you know.
It was the night he took the bath the night that
Oh, that's right.
Laszlo got,
Yeah, and then we
got
went.
stabbed the
Yeah,
first
that's
time.
the last time he bathed.
And then we went
Just-
grueling. So okay.
Well, take in mind, prestidigitation is not the same as a bath because it doesn't make you smell nice. It just makes you smell neutral.
So I guess I would. There's different ones for men and women, but I guess. Oh god, this is gonna be fucking.
Close your eyes.
Oh, women.
Boobies.
This does raise an interesting.
Virgin
question.
ice.
The guard,
Well,
the
this-
guards don't leave you alone. By the way, Krios does go with you because you can't be by yourself.
Well, this raises an interesting question because on the one hand, I'm medical adjacent, and as like a medical person, you would have to be desensitized to body parts. But on the other hand, I play Dauntless in a very like.
Not a doctor, by the way.
Medical adjacent is if some fucking clinical.
Again, I think we
I'm
went over this a
medically
couple
adjacent. I
sessions
didn't
ago. If
get
a
my,
doctor came to you and said, "Yeah,
I didn't get
medically
my
adjacent,"
degree, but you know, I'm medically adjacent.
I've never actually been to medical school, but I read a book once, so I think I can.
Limbs off, but
I think this bone
Well,
goes
that's.
there.
I mean, again, it's
I
like
watch Scrubs, okay?
the whole magic component does make it interesting because like I have a high medical stat, but I'm not medically trained, but I can use magic to just medical things away. So it's like if you went to a car or if you went to a mechanic and it's like I don't know how cars work. I just snap my fingers and then tires replace themselves. It's like technically he's not wrong, but it's not comforting.
Well, I don't want to get into the whole idea of like, well, if you heal someone whose bone is not in the right place, it's going to set wrong, because that would be kind of annoying to deal with. So let's not get into the whole shenanigans of a healer who doesn't know anatomy. Because,
But I do know anatomy, but I'm just not medically trained.
well, either way, you,
Mom
I mean,
doctor.
you
you
can
have
deal
to-
with that air bubbles in your veins later, alright?
Okay.
I
But,
mean, your medical proficiency doesn't. I mean, it doesn't innately come like you have to choose it out of for your class. So it's not like it's specifically for paladins. You have medical training.
No,
It's
no,
like,
I know.
You would have to have picked it up somewhere. Like it's not just something you like magically
God doesn't
know.
give
But
it to
this
you.
is not even the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make is that like going into like the women's bath, I would just be like, I'm not sure how I would play that.
Are you an
as, like, a
anime
character.
protagonist who like has a nosebleed every
Yeah,
time he
like,
sees
what the
titties
Well, no,
or
no,
something?
but what
I'm
that's what I'm saying. Well, the way I play Dauntless is like very oblivious to like sex, but at the same time, it's like I'm also a
So
doctor.
just don't point it out, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, just take a bath, dude.
There you go. Fuck.
Hello, ma'am. You have boobies.
Take a bath right
That's
now.
a great way to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Hello there, ma'am. I used to be a man, but I am a woman now. But
Well,
you
no,
have
Let's not get into that, Henry. That's a whole
Brain.
fucking can of worms.
Well, like
for
the thing
fucking
is,
public.
my instinctive way to bathe would be like I guess I don't know if there's like yeah.
Why are you
yourself or
why are you poking so many holes into this? Just
see
fucking
what
take a
people
bath.
are doing in there and then follow suit.
Just
and you
Krios will follow you. He's general
He's a cat,
neutral.
so you
He's a
can,
cat,
bathe
so
properly. Don't bathe like him.
Well, he's a robot.
no, he'll just
bathe.
You can clean robots.
Identity politics, even in. He's a
Well, he would
cat
just
man.
short circuit and accidentally electrocute
You don't know
everyone.
how
He's
that
not
works.
that
You
kind of
don't-
robot.
you don't know how he's
Oh.
designed,
I miss
bitch.
this.
So I guess you're the mechanic who can just snap their fingers and then the tires are changed.
Yes,
He is. It
But
literally is his whole thing.
I am the
So
mechanic.
you're a mechanic
Why
who
would you
doesn't
be a
understand
mechanic?
like.
Okay, Andrew,
and I'm
can
a
we move
doctor.
past this, please? Thank you.
Okay.
And we're going to the bathhouse episode.
You know.
There is a large fee of per person is a total of 50 samir
I'm
For everyone?
1,000.
per person.
Oh, per person, and we're how many?
6.
We're 5, 6. Okay,
6 if you
so-
count Krios.
We gotta count Krios.
6. Okay, I give him 300 gold. 300 samir.
They give each of you this really nice, like a fishnet stocking that is filled with soaps and oils and those little bundles of leaves that the Swedish people hit each other with when they're in the sauna.
The fuck
If
are you
there
talking
if there is like a
I
premium
know,
package,
yeah.
by the way, DM, we definitely got that too.
Well, when you pay for
Coke
premium, you
rules.
just pay for more time.
I
So,
don't want to keep the.
everyone gets the
keep waiting,
same-
waiting.
Same.
Yeah,
bundle.
that's true. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how this place works. We gotta be fancy. We gotta look fancy.
Is it solo? Do I know if it's like it's just me being able to bathe by myself?
It is a public bath in the most public sense of the word. It's kind of just an open air thing. There is a split. With the left hand side is the men's entrance, and the right hand side is the women's entrance. And you surmise that they probably don't conjoin back when you get to the main bathhouse, or the bathing area rather. Each of you has your little goodie bag filled with soaps, oils, and whatnot.
Please.
There is a little location that you can drop off all your stuff, because I'm assuming that you're not going to go into the baths, especially Kalos, in full Dwarven Berserker armor.
Fuck yeah, yeah. What are you talking?
You remember, you can't
9
swim with
years
that.
to take off.
No.
Alright,
course not.
I guess I would walk with the rest of you until I realized that I would have to go to the other one and then go to the other one.
And Palace would, Krios would be next to you.
That's how I'm gonna play that off.
You get into the area and you disrobe, and eventually you can find a little cubby that is locked that you can place all your goods into. Unfortunately, some of them are not large enough to, say, hold an entire set of Dwarven Berserker armor, and they're not tall enough to hold, say, if you had a glaive, which none of you have, but it's not meant for, you know, the warriors to come in. This is like the civilian stuff, so it's a cubby that you would expect at like a gym.
I'll just have Krios hold my shit.
Well, he's bathing with you, right? So
He's an
no,
automaton, he doesn't have to bathe.
he is gonna bathe.
He did
He's
also
gonna.
he got his own goodie bag.
Yeah, what the fuck? Let him enjoy. What the fuck are you doing?
I
As
just
you're
gave
like,
him, like-
as you're trying to give him his shit, he like places it into like a empty locker that's next to him. It's like, oh, it's like, I guess I have a fucking.
You can see him taking off his new tailored boots and just like what? Am I doing something wrong?
Am I not doing
Am I not a real boy?
I put.
We went out there.
really
Am
have?
I not a
whole
real
thing.
cat?
We went through a whole side quest last time.
Fair enough.
You're accepting him in the league, but now he can't take a bath with you. Understood.
I'm now on my home turf. You're now a slave to me.
I don't know.
Spit in
I
the
don't know
eyes
if
of
the
God.
water messes with him. So.
You don't fucking know exactly. You just go with the flow.
And then fine. Then I put all my shit in the locker.
As
Just
much
wait
as
for
I
him
will
to
fit.
get in first, so he doesn't electrocute me.
Well, no, I do the thing where I make it fit, where I just like
You push him in.
elbow it.
Okay.
It closed.
Oh man, that reminds me of episode 1. Yes.
We're gonna drown a small child.
We're gonna drown a small child.
Did it?
Who's the god of mischief for the Sandstriders?
Fucking Nick?
Just picture Nick.
It's Loki. Get him! Like,
Is someone's fucking like fire alarm going off in the background?
I
No.
don't think so.
No, not me.
I heard.
what was that response?
I heard beeping.
I was like,
You might be hearing a car beeping.
Oh, okay. They've been backing up for quite some time. Either way, you get into the bathhouse, and there are small little areas that are not exactly like cubicles, but areas that you can have a nice lengthy mirror to do your what's the word I'm looking for?
routine.
Your business?
Grooming. That's what I'm looking for.
It is.
You can groom yourself. It's got a little shelf that you can put your toiletries and your perfumes on. The main bath center is a large, shallow pool that is fed by a series of gold-colored spigots. Whether or not they're actual gold or just gold-plated, again, can't really tell, but it is very fanciful here. There are other occupants here, but everyone has the courtesy to not just, like, you know, wave you in as you enter or slap your ass as you enter or something. It's not a college football locker room over here. This is a public bath, and everyone has the presence of mind to keep it courteous and realize that just because you're naked doesn't mean you need to acknowledge it. Unless you want to drop the spaghetti really, really hard.
You're naked.
Moon landing.
Yeah, sword fight.
Barris, I can see your penis.
You get to the little stations where you can groom yourself. You can wash your hair, apply conditioner, body lotions, soaps, hair for oils. There's a separate one that they gave to those of you who have facial hair or beard oils, so if Zen wants to make it so that he can, like, style his beard into, like, a little, Pablo Picasso kind of thing. I don't know.
I don't know. What do they do here?
Do they have accommodations for my dreadlocks? Because apparently you have to like wash them and like apple cider vinegar and like I think something else to not make them look nasty.
Hair oils are actually very much a thing around here in such a way that a lot of the men keep their hair almost like slicked to the point where it contours to the shape of their heads, and it usually, if it's long enough, is tied around into a ponytail behind them. For women, the hair around here is generally the same idea. They keep it not as contoured to the shape of their heads, and they have traditional headdresses that keep the sun directly from cooking your brain. So everything around here is very sleek and shiny. The type of way that men style their beards is significantly shorter than yours, Zen. If anything, they're just to the shape of the chin, and they don't grow much out beyond that to the point where it needs to be like tied off or anything. So yours is basically up to you. You haven't seen any points of reference for people with long beards.
I'll just do it myself.
Did they give me shampoo?
Yeah, I think for you, I think for like lizards, you would have to like bathe in like mud or some shit.
Also, you
Well,
don't have hair.
Well, I also wouldn't know how to bathe myself. Like in my head,
Mom!
in my head when we went to the Dolan Estate, I literally just mauled it in a bath because I was mad. So like, I don't know what I would do here besides just like splash water on my face and shrug.
Are there any other Dragonborn when we
I
walk
just
in? When
death stare at it,
when Creels
figure
and
it out.
Daedalus walk in, are there any other Dragonborn taking baths?
Nope, just humans and tabaxis. There are a couple of lizard folk as well.
Are there any
Lizard folk,
are there
what do
any
they do?
attendants?
I'm stupid and don't know how to bathe. Help me.
No, there are no attendants here.
Just fucking
Besides the
wing it.
person who took the money in the front who gives out the little goodie bags, there's no attendant in the locker room for privacy reasons, and they just have some person just constantly waiting in the bathhouse because, you know, it's kind of weird.
Well,
Just
Creels
stare at naked people for 8 hours a day.
Creels points out to the area where they're like doing their putting shampoo and conditioner, and points to it. It's like, do you want me to start with you? Type of gesture.
Does he subtly point it out, or is he like full arm pointing?
No, he like nudges his head.
Guys,
He's
don't
a
make
fuck.
obvious.
He's subtle enough.
Sprints over.
He's a real
He
boy.
just grabs one of them.
Look,
the
as
fuck
far
out the
as
way,
everyone who's not like scrutinizing him, he's just a really shiny tabaxi.
Yeah. He has no hair. It's like, what the fuck? He's a
Uh,
hairless tabaxi.
I kind of nod to him like, yeah. Help me out here, man. Oh,
Well, that's what he's doing. He's trying to help you out.
I haven't decided whether or not lizard folk have tits. Like in Skyrim. Argonians. I'm probably gonna say no.
I think the most erotic part of the lizard folk is
Cloaca, yeah. I'm
Meanwhile,
gonna
in
say
the
no, they
kids
don't,
area, we
'cause-
just casually just making ourselves look presentable.
I mean, for the men's side, and you guys, you know enough.
We know
about
how to
yourselves,
clean ourselves.
because you are
I know
in
you.
your original
We're-
bodies, at least.
Oh.
If anything, so on the women's side of the bath, plus Prios, there are tabaxi women, some lizard folk, and an assortment of other humanoids, mostly humans.
Oh, so there are lizard folk. What are the
Right.
lizard folk doing? Are they doing the same routine as the tabaxis?
They have more or less the same goodie bags, but theirs doesn't have shampoo for hair for obvious reasons. But instead they get a larger bottle, about the size of an orange, that you can squirt out, and it is essentially scale oils. Typically speaking, you don't want to use too much soap because the natural oils on the body of lizard reptilian folk is what is essentially going to keep you from drying out. You essentially want to use a very, very non-harsh soap to clean off the dirt, but not too much of the oils, and then replace any oils with the ones in this orange-sized bottle.
Alright, I would use way too much of it just because.
So Krios like picks out an area where he like has like a sight of what they're doing and like just starts doing that. So Daedalus just starts massaging in the oils or what the fuck ever they're doing. Try to copy.
Have Krios make a stealth check so he doesn't look like he's peeping.
He's just death staring people. But
Hold on.
am I glowing? I'm glowing, aren't I? Or no, the back thing is only when I'm asleep. Never mind.
23.
Taking subtle glances to the other occupants so that you're not looking like a creepy peeping Tom. Takes glances only when they're like getting soap in their eyes and have to wipe it away, so it's like, oh yes, okay, soap goes here.
Okay, so they kind of do lift up this part and they just rub it in. Okay, gotcha.
Obviously, Dragonborn don't have tails, but lizard folk do, so that part about scrubbing that
He
part,
gets to that part and he's just like, just
Hold on.
pats you on the ass. Just good job.
we seem to be missing something here.
Well, I imagine I'm like sitting down for this. I'm not just standing and he's just like walking around me. I feel like that would draw more attention, so I'm sitting crisscross.
Oh, you're a princess, so you gotta draw attention.
Do I?
Yes, you do.
As you guys clean yourselves, it's a very relaxing situation. The body lotions and oils give a slightly tingling sensation as it dives deep into your epidermal layer and from the outside in causes you to be moisturized. I'm
I
not
feel
gonna
my skin exfoliating.
I'm not gonna go too much more into detail about bathing, but it is very luxurious, as you can imagine. Not entirely sure what the poorer bathhouse would be like. Maybe they just give you a loofah and say go to town. But you exit the facilities when you feel like you're done and ready. Take the time to rearm and armor yourselves from your stuff in the lockers, and eventually you meet up back with the rest of the party, all of whom are still in their previous attire, because you didn't buy new clothes yet, but on the inside of the clothes, you're clean.
Oh, I'm gonna try something.
And
I
you
kinda-
smell, you stink
Is
good.
there perfume for armor?
No. That's weird.
That would
That
be
would just
weird,
be
right?
perfume.
It would just would that just be perfume? Okay.
Yes.
Did you boys wanna and lady, did you guys wanna go to the marketplace, get some and does the motion for perfume or cologne?
Yeah, I think that's a smart idea.
Might as well look the part.
Am I echoing?
No, but you sound like
Guys,
crap.
I got a bottle already.
All right, no, I put headphones in, so good.
Remember that I bought
Well,
a
it's not
bottle
good
of
about the
nice
crap.
perfume.
Oh, yeah.
But good enough.
You want to use that?
Oh, well, is that for ladies?
For Hecate, but,
Oh, it might be
Oh.
some lady perfume.
Yeah, it might be lady perfume, yeah.
you see, as cause obviously I'd assume an hour would pass at this point, and as I'd left, I would have altered myself again. I just look like much more presentable and more appropriate attire. The attire that I bought.
Microwave?
I think so.
Air fryer.
Oh yeah, we need to get some clothes too.
Hell yeah, cooking lunch.
Yeah, I told you.
But yeah, I would have got that on, but I just look like Ulrich. Yeah. That's me.
And of the rest of you?
You guys don't notice anything, but if you guys are wondering, if you guys, he looks really cool. He doesn't sweat. He's not sweaty at all.
So we notice you not sweating.
Like, you guys are, like, constantly sweating because, like, you guys are wiping your brow. He's just like, Daedalus, like, you're fucking hot and you're wearing heavy armor.
Jangle
So,
my
like...
ring in front of you. I'm not sweating either, buddy. Like, I'm good.
Oh, yeah, you got yours. Like, yeah.
But you got heat rings?
And I'm native here, so I'm...
No, I got, and you see, like, as he's putting on his I guess, his chest piece, there's like a small little fan that's just constantly just moving there.
CP.
I kind of thought of it. It doesn't, if an extreme heat doesn't really help out, but this little desert heat, a little, I
Air
say.
fryer you are, mate.
It's not, you know, it keeps me cool.
Nice. That makes that sound, that ambient.
Yeah, you have instant fail on all stealth checks.
Yeah, what's that coming? It's a.
That's what the fans are, yeah.
Yeah, some CPU's fan going fucking nuts.
Loading up a Tailspire map.
Hey man, imagine this in Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah, I might be melted.
Well, it would have been completely 2D, so it's fine.
Yeah, but each block has physics.
Oh, I forgot that there were even like blocks in that. I was just thinking like the 2D drawn
No,
thing.
I just draw. Remember, I had the whole fucking Yuha Tel Shinnok thing, that fucking tree city. That was definitely 3D.
I very clearly forgot. Brain damage.
You can't just say that in real life.
Yes, do brain damage excuse.
Okay, so the rest of you guys are all done bathing and cleaning yourselves. Not all of you have local clothing. But what would you like to do now?
Go to the market and get some colognes.
I don't want to spend too much time because
We need collagen.
I got a 26 on this one, by the way, so I'm sick off of something bad happening.
Well, you can find all sorts of colognes. Varieties span from fruity scents to more manly scents. Kind of just smells like Axe body spray. Not sponsored. But you can spend anywhere from as little as 5 Samir for a bottle of cologne, or as much as 25.
I suggest we get different colognes for everybody. So just yell out your how
I
much
have
you
my
spent.
natural honey.
You have your natural honeybee. Varys, how much did you spend?
He's hit the shots.
Oh,
Things are falling out of my freezer. Sorry.
I hear an engine going off, a microwave.
Hadron Collider in the background.
It's so loud.
I'll take a picture of my freezer. It's packed to the brim with vegetables.
Maybe you should
Sorry.
eat them.
I can
yeah,
only eat so
I
much.
just collect vegetables.
I spent 20 on a bottle of perfume. Varys, how much did you spend?
10. Slightly more than minimum effort.
I should probably go with 20, huh?
You would go. You said DM. What was the max?
25 if you want to get
25?
really crazy with it.
Woo, we're going crazy with the princess.
All right, sounds good.
Write down a 25 Samir.
I already got my perfume.
You already have yours? Okay.
Yeah. If I can't use it for a god, I'll use it for these gaudy people.
Yes, but isn't that for like women? Aren't you a man?
No, it's not.
He's comfortable with it. He's comfortable with it.
I thought it was okay. Oh, it was for wooing women. Oh, I thought it was a gift for her. Oh, I thought it was a gift for her.
As you
Back before we realized.
fucking perfume bottle and spritz it on yourself.
Okay, guys, we got 2,385 Samir left.
Smelling clean and perfumed up to the gills, you guys feel like you're ready to enter the domicile of the Morjamoth family estate here in town. You approach the stairs and go up the flight once more. You pass by the guy who was working on his seascape. He is done with it, and he is currently putting the finishing touches, such as adding little seagulls in the background and putting his paint set away as you leave.
Let's go to 1 to 10. How does it go?
He's a very, very 6.5 out of 10 artist.
Does he have a tip bucket?
No, because he's just here for his own thing and he's not selling his artwork or anything.
Gotcha.
Here's a tip, get a job. No, I did not say that.
I say it in Draconic, so he may not understand it, even though, I don't know. So you get back to the guard post,
User
and...
in your channel timed out.
Oh no, it's Gronk. You get back to the palace entrance, and the 3 guards who were standing there before, notice your approach, and although you haven't really all changed your clothes, you can have a noticeable different scent, and your complexion is nicely scrubbed. Zen especially
smell
is very
good.
touched up like a Ken doll, and is very plasticky looking with his beard that is oiled up to the brim.
I guess I would have oiled up my armor too to look nice and shiny. I don't know if I oil. Yeah, I don't know if. Yeah, I know you oil up.
It doesn't
armor,
always
right?
look shiny.
Well, it doesn't all. Well, you gotta maintain it.
Let's see these assassins try to catch me while I'm covered in grease. I'll just slip right by 'em.
Exactly. Or you just aim.
Oh, like no, because I
remember
remember
Give 'em the
reading.
slip.
I remember reading that the Spartans used to put olive oil on their shields, so
Yeah, they also used to have sex with each other, though. You really want to emulate Spartans?
Well, actually,
That sounded really
technically,
judgmental. I'm
Dominus
just
is
saying.
like a form of Greece, so you know, I guess yes.
doing over there.
All right, you're not sleeping near me anymore.
Alright, guys.
Wow,
trip is
wow,
to
way to
us.
go, way to go.
On
Just
the
because he's
stairs.
gay, that means he wants to rape all men? Jeez, you're like,
Please.
wow, way to make
Plus,
assumptions.
you're a fucking princess over here. Calm down there.
Guys, we're on the stairs, please. We're on the stairs.
We're having this conversation. You're like,
Painter guy is just like,
Well, I wouldn't know what the fucking Spartans were, so we're obviously not having this in character. Come on.
oh yeah.
This is just me being an asshole.
Fine, yes, alright. I'm being an asshole back. Fine. Actually, DM, is there an equivalent? No, I'm just like.
I kind of.
Actually,
Adam,
DM.
Adam glazes over at certain points. I can.
We haven't. Well, actually, no. Your last campaign was in Dominus, so it would, I was gonna say we haven't.
No,
been
it was
there yet.
completely different, so I can't even bring
Oh,
up.
the monkey.
Some of the
Yeah,
culture
sure, go.
is the same, and other things are not so much. But either way, you guys are here, getting up to the palace entrance. The microwave is done.
No, that was
fryer.
microwave being plugged in.
Put it respect.
I will.
This is like
Spit
a
on
big
his name.
Andrew moment. So, are you gonna come back to the PC?
Yeah,
you're gonna have to
about
fucking
done.
talk,
I need
my
like
boy.
5 minutes.
Alright.
I'm here.
The main guard, who is not one of the tabaxi, looks you guys over. He almost like sniffs the air about you and kind of gives like an approving nod. He pivots on his heel and begins walking forward, and then turns around. Are you ready?
Oh.
Sorry, that just
Yes, and I
came out
bow
now.
at the hip. Or at the waist.
Break my hip.
Hey, that happens.
Downstairs.
Oh yeah, I forgot we broke that hip. Well, you broke that hip, but for the royal we. All of us.
Well,
It had to be broken.
The other two tabaxi kind of close in the gaps that is left by this guy. He begins to walk forward and maintains a healthy stride as he gets to the front door. Holding open the two double doors, you can see that it kind of resembles that of a dragonoid set of wings that fold inwards and then outwards when you push the door open. They really like the dragon motif here. As you can see from many of the surfaces of the building are carved and embossed with all sorts of draconic looking iconography, from dragons mid-flight, dragons breathing their breath weapons, other dragons kind of just like posing. One's
I
down.
look up at all these murals very forlorn
And
like.
Josh poster.
And as you enter the halls, they are very wide and tall in such a way that even your smallest footsteps echo long throughout the hallways themselves. These help and staff here are waiting at several key junctions, at doorways, corners, and all sorts of other key locations, as to basically make it so that if you wanted to hide somewhere, well, get fucked, because there's probably eyes on every nook and cranny in this hallway, at least.
There's a guard there. There's a guard there. There's an assassin over there that you can't see.
Look underneath your table, and whoop-de-doo, it's another assassin.
He's got the surprised mask.
Murderers abound.
If you just walk in and everyone has a different like expression to mask.
Oh my god, it's eyes wide shut.
That'd be horrible. Is that the one with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, did I unplug?
Where did the Zen Mini go?
What?
I lost Zen's Mini.
Did it get stuck in the water again?
Zen's down, Zen down.
I
Oh,
can't
you're
go to
ins-
myself.
Oh, you're inside of fucking last.
Oh, wow.
Stealth,
He never
stealth,
saw it
stealth.
coming.
He stealth so hard.
Where did he go? I am him.
I'm inside of you.
The guard that is escorting you guys along passes by several closed doors, of which are also laced with all sorts of dragon iconography. Passing by several of them, you get the scent of someone that is presumably smoking something, because it smells very musty and like campfire smoke, but more incensey. Eventually leading you into a room that is surrounded with not only guards, but several decorative beads that hang across the wall. In the center is a large, low table, circular in nature, that has a device in the middle that seems to be burning some sort of plant material, and a series of what look like hoses coming off of them. It's a hookah. A series of humanoids are sat around the table, each of which are having a conversation with each other in draconic language, so everyone except for Varys is out of the loop in this one. They seem to be talking about some sort of just idle gossip about basically playing the market in the most literal sense, money sense, and taking hits from this pipe on occasion between their sentences. They're all sat on their keisters on a nice fluffy rug that has a series of throw pillows just, well, thrown about. As you get into the vicinity, the sound of your footsteps causes them to take notice. They don't stop their conversation, but they kind of just draw their eyes or turn their bodies just enough to see who or what is coming their way. One of them takes a long drag from their pipe and kind of just exhales it from their nostrils. This one is a very, very imposing looking dragonborn male. He is, while not dressed in any armor, his clothes are pulled so tight against his body that it almost looks like he's wearing the equivalent of Kalos's armor.
Nothing at all.
But
So
like,
he's just 10 feet of muscle?
basically. He's not 10 feet tall, but he is quite tall and wide of a man. He has a very nice, decorative, customary hat, or headdress, not a hat, headdress that is, kind of resembles that of, like, a sheik's hood, and a little bit of, like, a turban kind of design on it. There is a single feather that is resting on the top of it that kind of limps downwards, and it is a bright, bloodish red color. This is the only dragonborn in this little hookah circle. The rest of them are... let me see. Let me count this specifically so I can give you the numbers.
Wait, is it a red dragonborn?
This one is a red dragonborn, yes. So
Are
when
there any non-red in this? They're all.
Wait,
It's
no,
all
there's
Mortemoth,
only one
right?
dragonborn.
only one dragonborn.
Yeah.
We got 2 tabaxis, both of which are sitting on his left and immediate left and right, and 3 regular human women, all of which are dressed like courtesans, to say the least. I don't want to say any more vulgar words.
Classy ladies.
Are they doing belly dances too?
No, they're smoking and fanning themselves with these really lavish-looking hand fans.
They're just vibing.
Yep.
They vibing now, okay.
As the large dragonborn takes a hit and blows the smoke out of his nostrils, there's a little bit of a puff of fire that comes out from the nostrils, as if to just kind of announce the fact that yes, I can breathe fire. And the rest of you enter the room. The guard who escorted you in stands slightly off to the side, but doesn't leave. And the rest of you are just stood around. Let me spawn in a Dragonborn.
Let me spawn in your death.
Oh man, this is like, oh, why is that doing that?
I find myself here. Oh.
This is the closest thing I have, I guess. I'm not gonna spawn it inside because the collisions with the roof and whatnot. But we got this main red Dragonborn here. We got 2 Tabaxis on his immediate left and right, so I'm gonna spawn those in too. But all the meanwhile, I'm just gonna talk at the same time as spawning these in. The individual kind of looks up and down, and to the rest of you, he doesn't get up from his seat, but merely just glances over to each person in the league, and eventually resting his eyes on Dauntless. Why were they hidden? And as the chime on the fucking...
Well, when his eyes rest on me, I do the chest punch bow thing, but then I go down on one knee. And I just keep my head bowed.
He snorts ever so slightly and begins, he puts his little end of the hose that leads to the pipe into a specialized container that is on the edge of the table. It kind of looks like the gunboats of a rowboat, but smaller in scale, just to hold the end of this pipe.
Mm-hmm.
He looks around and eventually just kind of begins to not sit up entirely, because he was kind of in a half-reclined position, but in such a way that he is looking a bit not as relaxed. He speaks in Draconic, so again, only person who understands this right now would be Varys. Welcome back, niece. The
Your
heavens
uncle's
beseech you.
Yep. Your uncle is welcoming you back, princess.
Without looking, keeping my head bowed, I talk to Varys, and I tell him, wish him the same in return. And then I kind of, without, again, trying to keep my head bowed, I glance over at Uhl, and I kind of motion for him to hand me the letter.
Absolutely. I jaunt over and pass both the medical report and the other letter.
Hold on, sorry. I don't mean to beep at you guys. Let me just unplug that.
Beep.
Can you pass me the microwave?
Hey, pass me that air fryer real quick, cuz. Oh, thanks, Uncle.
Hey, bro.
Hey bro, give me air fryer.
Hey, yo, Theo, can you pass me that air fryer?
Dude, the uncle unplugs the air fryer as he just looks at it.
Unplugs
Yeah,
air
so
fryer, prepares to throw.
I motioned for the letters from him, or from Uhl.
Yeah, give you both the letters.
And then what I say to Varys is, translate, I forget myself and I am here to remember. And then I attempt to with my head bowed, I hold out the letters to him.
I say exactly that in Draconic, or as best it translates, considering how languages work.
Before you get to complete your sentence, the individual at the end of the table snorts and a bit of fire comes out from his nose. Slamming his fist onto the table. Who is this outsider speaking in my presence? Know your place and shut up.
Okay.
He says that in common, by the way, so the rest of you can understand. He switches back to Draconic and looks at the, what he presumes to be Princess Huang. Giving your permissions to speak to your underlings. Don't think yourself too highly that you can't speak in my presence.
I say, I guess I would say in common, my apologies, Uncle.
He said that in Draconic, so only Ferris again knows what he's saying.
Shit.
So he's just blathering at you in a very angry tone, and you're just like,
Pretty
I don't know what I do.
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
Don't hit me, please. Deal, please.
But not the chancla.
Yo, I feel it, bro.
Not the cosmic chancla.
The guard that escorts you guys in kind of just like looks at you in the same way like when you invite your friend over and the parent starts yelling at the friend. It's just go.
I gotta go. I gotta leave.
He doesn't say anything though, but like Siege wants you to be closest to him, so you can just kind of see him like his eyes darting back and forth, like, oh god, not again.
This happened to me once. I'm so sorry.
The human women who are out at the table kind of put their pipes down also, and they kind of just step away from the table and just stand on the side. The two tabaxi look at each other from across the table and just give it like a yeesh kind of, you know, tug on the collar, like,
It's about to go down.
But I think that's everyone is feeling very upset.
You need to get your translator translate and then settle this situation. I'm gonna step back. And
He doesn't want to speak to me, I say to the princess.
Let me plug my headphones back in my computer. Hold on a sec.
User disconnected from your channel.
Okay. I stand up, and then I guess I gotta say in common what I just said before. I forget myself, and I have come to remember I am not well.
His eyes narrow, and he puts his end of the pipe closer to his mouth as if to take a hit, but then puts it back down as if contemplating, using the motion to just kind of think it over. He looks at you, and he is noticeably distraught in such a way that you can feel anger emanating from him. He sits up ever so slightly, putting his elbows up on the table and hunching forward in such a way that he gets ever so slightly closer to the edge, or to the center of the table. You forget yourself, he says in common. What goings on in your home away from home would cause this?
So, at this juncture, I explained to him that on my way to Oldport, I was attacked, and I was taken prisoner. And that while I was in Orc custody for an extended period, I received brain trauma, head injuries, and I was not aware of who I was. Sorry, I'm chewing. I was rescued by the people who've accompanied me. At one point, we finally were able to deduce who I am. I do not have very good memory of it, though. It's shaky at best. So I came back here after making contact with Oldport and meeting my betrothed. And my goal is to remember and heal.
As you say that, he allows a very long silence to linger in the room. Every one of the courtesans is just like taken aback. The tabaxi have kind of slumped their shoulders in such a way to make their presence slightly less present. The guard in the corner is probably palm sweaty as this individual gets up from his seat and begins to walk around it. Eventually he comes up face to face with you in such a way that he is towering and imposing. This individual I have clocked in as 7'2".
I bow my head when, as well, I keep my head bowed the whole time, but like especially so when he comes up.
He eventually walks around the table and gets up to you. He places one of his hands on the top of your head in such a way to kind of, not a head pat, but just like, I am looming over you. This is my physical manifestation of my presence.
Toxic master.
He then takes his hand and kind of like uses it to turn your chin to inspect you, from what he can see, and then looks over and looks to see if your head is on straight, so to speak, in a literal sense. And then you feel a flick on your forehead.
Oh.
What's this then?
Oh.
That is a mark of my faith.
He looks over to the tabaxi and he calls over to one of them. The one that was on his immediate right comes over, and he has a small cup in his hand. The large dragonborn takes it from him and then hands it to you. Drink. It's your favorite.
I give it a blank
It's
stare.
milk.
I'm not even
Standing
gonna.
in front of it.
I give it a blank stare and I just drink it, I guess.
It's a very sour wine that is almost mouth-puckering in intensity. He takes the cup from you as soon as he sees that you've drank it and hands it back to the tabaxi, who rushes back over to the table and begins refilling it from a bottle on the table. He takes a step slightly backwards and begins to pace his way back to his original position, stopping halfway to take another look back at you, and then rests his eyes on the rest of the party.
I'm staying head bowed.
He points over to Varys with one of his large sausage-like fingers. It is, very accusatory in nature. I give you permission to speak in my presence for just a moment.
Sure. Yeah, thank you.
You seem to know our language. Why have you not taught our head-addled niece?
Honestly, she's never really asked me to.
He takes a drink of one of the glasses himself and then kind of glares over at the princess. You spit on our traditions by not taking upon our native tongue, and then coming here and speaking this boorish language. It is poison to the tongue, especially for someone of your stature, only to be used from you to commoners. And in this case, considering I'm speaking to you in it, you can put two and two together.
Understood.
So you were here to heal. Heal what exactly? Besides your ignorance of our culture. And you've also lost your accent.
I mean healing more than physically, but mentally as well. I would hope to remember where I come from.
Well, know this well, Princess. Your escapade over to those continents beyond the waters is a business exchange. If you'd like, you can flaunt the fact that you are a trade princess over in those waters, but here you are nothing more than my niece. Your father, who is not here, he has other business to attend to. But while I'm here, I am your patriarch until his presence overrides mine. And I will not see that you are walking around speaking in the common tongue used only by the poor and those of ill blood. takes another moment to take a drink and a smoke break from the hookah, and then eventually sits back down at his original position.
We go over and whisper to the princess. Maybe give them the medical report. Well, step back.
As you take a step forward, you can see that the Dragonborn is shooting a glance at you. One that tells you to essentially know your place, sort of thing.
How dare you?
I gave permission to speak to that one over there. You hold your tongue while you're in this room.
I motion at Ul, Laszlo, whatever you want your name to be, just to stop.
Tell us, Huolong, what do you remember?
Stant little. Virtually nothing. I could not even have told you that was my favorite drink.
And how do I not know that you are some sort of imposter?
I do have markings on my back. That was one of the first clues that as to my real identity.
So you have the physical markings, but you have none of the mental capabilities of what we sent you over to. All those years of your upbringing out the window. Am I right?
Yes.
So then what use are you, besides your blood?
I would say none beyond that. I would hope to learn what I could. I did not intend to trouble you further than that.
Well, you'd be trying to pick up on almost 20 to 15 years of conditioning, tutoring, education, and now you're also going to need to relearn the language. So if you intend to learn any of those things, then whatever you're doing back in the other lands, well, probably put them on hold. There's a lot to learn.
Understood.
Although some of these things are not exactly my place to say. As long as you are alive and representing our people, I honestly don't care what you do over there. But considering what you're doing here, I have several concerns as to whether or not you can maintain your vigil over as a representative of our family. Frankly speaking, it's disgusting me. Your posture is awful, the way you speak is disgusting, and everything you do just gives off an air of some street urchin. And the presence of company that you keep is not my business, but they have about as good as manners as a street rat. Make no excuses of them being outsiders when you step into the palace of someone who is of my prominence. You should know to keep your mouth shut, unless spoken to directly. Regardless of whose company you are working for. I understand that we have a business relationship with this Pearl Company, but that does not make us friends in any sense of the word. Business associates is the longest I would span that relationship. So, you've been missing apparently for quite some time. And you're telling me that that whole time that you've been missing, you were being held to the disgusting natives of that continent? And now you're coming here for... I don't even know what reason you're here for. To chime in and tell us that you don't have anything that relates you back to us besides your bloodline. You might as well be a stranger to me. So what exactly is it you want?
My goal would be to find who I was and reclaim that once again, so as to not embarrass our family.
He looks over at the tabaxi who wasn't the one who gave you your odd sour wine, and he gives him like a quick nudge on the shoulder. He gets up and immediately books it out of the room at... Well, tabaxi have an increased base movement speed, so when they book it out of a room, they are flying. He exits the room and comes back with a bundle of parchment scrolls in one arm and a series of what looks like a jewelry box that is beautifully ornate and has a very heavy looking lid, placing it all onto the table in such a way that it doesn't catch fire from the hookah pipe, and begins to spread them out onto the table. These are letters from your betrothed across the sea, stalling for time, as he was not able to give us a full medical report as to your well-being. You're also expected to eventually have an heir. Are you capable of that? If you even know that information?
DM, would I know that? I think I would.
If you can have a kid?
Yeah.
Well, the report from the medical guy who did your physical was not a gynecologist. You didn't go that in depth.
Well, but before I used the unicorn, I had to check.
Virginity doesn't mean you can or can't have a kid.
No, I know that, but like I would know if I'm like all fucked up down there. I don't know a nice way to put that.
Guys, we're talking about female anatomy here. I don't think we can, I don't think they can tell when they can stop making babies.
That's when menopause hits, but like,
Yeah.
we're not that
Okay,
old.
but like I was.
You would have to check with your gyno, Mako.
How long have you been? How long have you been a Dragonborn?
No,
Can you get-
here's my point. Like there wouldn't be like.
Oh, would you have had your period?
I was trying to come up with a more delicate way of saying that.
Has the
Well, what I was
opt-in
gonna
red
ask-
come
what I was
to
Has the menstrual cycle been regular?
What I was gonna ask is when I had to check for the unicorn thing, was there like obvious like scarring or something where it's like, I don't know, Chief, I don't know if this will work.
You can't give yourself. I don't know.
Can't see that good of an angle, but I get what you're trying to say, but you didn't look out for that specifically.
Well, okay, you don't need to look out for something specifically, but it's like obviously nothing is.
No, you don't
horrendous.
have a literal
Okay.
axe wound in there or anything.
Okay. Hold on. Then I'm trying to think how to word this. As far as I'm aware, I am still capable. Of bearing children.
You'll be expected to have at least 3 children with your betrothed before you die, so, or lack the capabilities to do so at least. So that's one thing you should know about your arrangement, seeing as you seem to know precious little. I don't really want to tell you the whole of the deal that was made, because frankly, I feel like they'll be falling on deaf ears of someone who is so woefully uneducated at this point. He looks over to the courtesans and he gives them a look that tells them to vacate, and they do so. So, the bitches leave.
The bitches leave.
The tabaxi stay around, but they scoot slightly away from the table. And, I guess I'll just call him Patriarch here for now, issues for Princess Huolong to take a seat opposite him.
I stand up.
You are
and-
sitting.
Well, no, I was bowing on like one knee this whole time.
Oh.
Fucking not moving. I stand up. I go and I take a seat. Gingerly, I guess.
He gestures to one of the pipes that's resting on one of their little mechanisms that holds up the pipe. The tube itself is ended with a really nice. It kind of looks like a clarinet headpiece, gilded, and kind of he gestures for you to smoke. You're being peer pressured to smoke.
I look at it like I have no idea what it is, and then I very slowly put the thing to my mouth.
Your uncle takes also one end of a hose and begins to breathe deep, and eventually he exhales through his nostrils, staring at you the whole time in a very uncomfortable way.
I mimic what he does. Not like the breathing smoke on him part, but like I try to take a deep breath, I guess.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw to see if you don't do that thing when you smoke for the first time and you just kind of go.
Alright, did I earn a d6?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, 17.
You're able to hold it. It tastes like poison in your lungs, but you know, you've probably had worse. You fight back the need to violently cough up the smoke, and you gingerly let it out in a very calm fashion. As this happens, your uncle looks at you the whole time, putting his end of the pipe down, and then looks at the guard who escorted you guys in. He gives a nod, and then the guard, with his polearm, kind of uses it to like broomstick the rest of you guys out of the room who are not the princess.
Cool.
One of you like, hey, I deserve to be here.
They've got the medical.
Give
You've
me
got the
literally
medical
2
stuff, right?
seconds. Yes, you handed that off to me. I have.
I'm
both
got
those.
it.
Give me
I'm
2
out.
seconds.
He ushers you guys out and into a separate room. It's not too far away from this current room, but it is in such a way that there is no line of sight to this conversation, and there are the thick enough doors and walls that you can't hear unless you do something really invasive.
DM,
Yo.
could I possibly sneak a bee into the room?
Sorry.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Unless you
didn't expect
unless you
bees.
dismiss the bees or they get killed, you have them always active. Can you make a stealth check
For the bee.
for the bees?
Where's my bee stat block?
Go
Hold
go
on.
ahead and add a +5 to that because I really want this to happen.
B6.
I have
Add
a
a
text
B6 to
called
that.
B. Yeah, +4 dex.
Wow.
Oh
Bees.
yeah,
Fine,
damn.
man.
Time to use
The
this
bee was
new
allowed.
dice tower.
Got dice tower?
I do. 16. Oh, +5.
Yeah.
21.
While the guard is pushing you guys out of the room, you allow like one of the bees to like crawl down your arm, and like eventually she actually, all bees are female unless it's queen. No, you allow the bee to crawl down your arm and like sneak below your like waistline. It does its best to not make too much of a loud buzzing noise as it flies around, and it is, for all intents and purposes, the same thing as Find Familiar, the spell, so it can telecommunicate with you, but it can't tell you whole sentences, and nor does it act as just like a microphone, so it can give you vague communication if you're gonna have it spy in this room, so just take that in mind. It doesn't act as a walkie-talkie.
It can paint you a picture. That's the best way I could.
Tell
best
if he's being
description I have it.
assaulted.
Yeah, you could do that too. And the rest of you guys are escorted to a nearby room. It has its own miniature little hookah bar set up if you guys do want to smoke. There's also a series of very nice, lavish couches you can sprawl out on, and even has a minibar that is built into a cabinet on the wall.
Or I'm going.
If I'm gonna die anytime, I gotta take advantage.
I'm gonna prepare the hookah. I'm gonna look at it.
Are we alone in
and-
this room, or are there other?
There are guards stationed at every doorway. The one that escorted you here is adding into that collection, so there are 2 guards total, one at the doorframe and the one who escorted you in. They stand at attention in the corners, but don't really try to make conversation, and as long as you don't break nothing, then you'll probably be fine. He goes over and gets out a small tinder box that can be used to light the hookah, and presents it to whomever would like to use it.
I'll take those. Look at them. Thank you.
He then goes over to a nearby cabinet and presents you guys a very large selection of things to load up the pipe with. They are in varying colors and are assorted by flavor profile, so you can take your pick.
Sawdust.
There aren't any. Yeah, I'll take a peppermint one, I guess. Take a peppermint puck, I guess.
Whatever you decide to smoke, let's cut back over towards the other room, of which is filled with all sorts of Ents presents. You land the bee in a nearby inconspicuous location, very much not literal fly on the wall, because the contrast of just like stern white and just a bee kind of stands out. So you find a small bit of furniture to tuck underneath a cushion so that you can hide in its shadow. The bee is present and is relaying Zen back as much information as the spell is able to. The Dragonborn, your uncle, looks over you and begins to essentially interrogate you. A series of questions that try to garner as much of that 1.5 year span to try and fill in the gaps as to what has happened and what information is still lingering that would be relevant to his or your family. You know, you're in the, you know, you are related to him.
Yeah. In the physical sense.
We are approaching the 3-hour mark, and that's where I said we were going to stop. We are gonna pick up at this scene next time we play. We're gonna be back to normal hours, so totally starting on time at 10 o'clock next Sunday, the 8th of January. And since not as much happened in this one, you don't have to post anything too crazy in regards to your summary, because this was comparatively uneventful. That being said, that's up to scrutiny, depending on how you see it.
And who you are.
But the last thing I will say is that your uncle, seeing as you've relayed that you are basically a blank slate, he lets you know that his name is Akateth.
A-A-A.
Aka, A-K-A, Teth, T-H-E-T-H.
Sounds like some Elder Scroll dragon.
Help. Same. Alan Dewin.
Akateth is your uncle. You have other family members, and you have a lot of aunts, because,
I can imagine why.
Reading Factory?
I don't want to phrase it like that, but
You said it, not... Well, he said it, not you, so...
Akateth is your uncle, the patriarch of the Morjamoth family, your father. Technically speaking, Akateth is allowed to have his own children, but only the ones that are from your father's bloodline are like the big ones that anyone should care about. Your father's name is Audrazig.
Is this guy supposed to be his paternal uncle, like like the
This
princess's
is
father's?
your uncle on your father's side. So he is technically the matriarch of this side. Sorry, patriarch of this side. He doesn't hold as much as the main head honcho, which is your father, Atrazig. And your birth mother's name is Reredin.
R-A-R or R?
Reredin. Reredin. He'll fill you in on some other information, but I'm just gonna go ahead and post those in the Discord chat so that you guys can have those all available. This could be, technically speaking, your B wouldn't be able to tell you this, so this is for until you guys reconvene in game, and if Dauntless decides to share this information with you guys, it's technically, you guys are good at not metagaming, so. I'm gonna post information about what your uncle would tell you regarding what you should know as a princess. He's not going to give you a whole language lesson because it takes more than a couple hours to teach someone a language. And considering
Isn't it like a ridiculous amount of in-game time you have to
Oh yes, a long time.
Yeah.
When they're having this conversation, does the demeanor between the two change, or is he still up in his face the whole time?
He has gone from being completely pissed off to just being like, alright, my kid just got into a car accident. I just need to be I need to be stern so that they don't make this mistake again, but at the same time I am your uncle.
Cool uncle. I'm the cool uncle.
But he is still very much kind of exuding alpha Chad energy.
Hate energy.
Alright, so I'll post that up as soon as I copy and paste it. And we're gonna go ahead and end there. And